Alright, and now the stream is live, or should be. Uh,
Hey.
we're going to start today out with a shout out to the Central Florida internet provider, Brighthouse/Spectrum, who, without needing a storm or any sort of violent natural disaster, just decided that internet wasn't going to work for about an hour.
Hey, but they brought it back just in the nick of time.
Just in the nick of time.
They really did pull it all out in the end, didn't they?
Right out of their
Oh,
ass.
I see what you did there.
Okay.
Because they returned.
Alright, so at the end of last week, you guys had decimated this camp of foresters, I believe. Like well-meaning, hard-working, blue-collar types that were just here on
A
vacation.
lie.
Nope, they attacked us without even asking us what our names were.
Friendly
I
fort.
think they had my name.
See, they asked for Sandre's name.
Name.
And if I remember correctly, you teleported around, which would make me jumpy.
I walked. I walked first.
Alright. You guys had your fight, and near the end, a bunch of the Droglan type creatures showed up, made a pronouncement to you that
To Nalera.
to everybody though that you were not wanted here. And then they just sort of fled. They didn't fight anybody. They didn't breathe like magical fire or ice or something. They just left. And then you guys managed to save the life of one of these guys
An EpiPen.
through some quick thinking and an EpiPen spell combination. And that's where we left off. So that's where we're going to pick up. You're not going to be questioning the dead. You were just going to be questioning someone that's alive. So I assume you guys are going to take a breather until he wakes up.
Yup.
Okay.
And his legs are broken, so he can't run away or anything.
Oh my god. Oh god, that's right. Is this the guy that got his leg like nailed into the ground?
Yeah, and then Erwin started chewing on him for a little bit.
Oh god. Poor guy. He's gonna wish he was dead.
I mean, also, before we go to sleep, I'm going to cast Sanctify in an area on him to neutralize his poisons.
Oh, wait, you're not going to sleep. It'll take him
Oh, no.
about an hour to regain consciousness.
I'm still going to Sanctify him.
Do the rest of you have anything that you are doing while this is going on? Like you've decided you're going to stay here and wait to see how things hash out with this guy. Do you set up a perimeter? Do you...
How many people are wearing pants that are dead?
Everybody here was pantsed.
Oh, I go through their pants.
Yeah.
I go through the pants. I go through other things, and I also check all the. I know that I already kind of like went through the crates, but I am gonna spend at least I'm gonna spend as long as it takes to find something of value.
I'm gonna climb this.
Okay, you're gonna climb a tree to get a better perspective on the area.
Yeah, if it looks like the tallest.
I like Stefan's still image.
Well, oh, is it still?
Oh
Yeah.
geez, yeah it is.
Really? Okay.
Really,
There it
really.
is. Yeah. That is. It's
What about
if it's not the tallest, it's one of the tallest in the area. So it's as close as you're gonna get.
Okay.
Okay. Sandre. So Nalera is picking through the dead bodies. Xiao Yu is roosting up in a tree. Revan's watching your captive. Sandre, are you doing anything specific or just biding your time?
I'm gonna see if I can find any more of these tents lying around.
You mean you're gonna wander like the nearby woods to see if there are any other camps?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me. Are you gonna stay within like earshot, or are you just going to wander freely?
Freely.
Of course.
That sounds
I'm
like
keeping an
Sandra.
eye on him.
It's not Sandre unless we're gonna have to run 50 miles to go save him.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
right.
Not wrong.
I'm gonna keep our heading so I know which way they go.
Wait,
I'm gonna
I'm
actually
gonna-
just shout out to Revan before I do that. Been
I'm
like,
gonna
keep
look
going
in
that
this
way.
direction.
Okay. Which is
This was the direction this one dude tried to run, right?
correct. That was the direction he was heading, and that was that's more or less the direction that you guys were headed before you broke to go a little bit south when you saw the light.
I'm gonna cast some Soul's Light on his axe, so he actually has some light.
On whose
So
axe?
I'm gonna cast some Soul's Light on his axe.
On Sandre.
Girl.
Sandre sees in the dark. So does Xiaoyu.
I know,
No, it's so that he can see him.
so that I can see.
Oh, okay.
And my axe is not equipped. I'm using my hammer. God damn it, people.
On his acquired weapon, on his equipped weapon, I'm
There
going
you
to
go.
cast Soul's Light onto.
There you go.
He's gonna
How,
cast the appropriate amount.
how long does it last?
Like a few hours.
Okay, then you're fine. You're golden. All right, so Sandre goes wandering off. Nalera, you find. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3. Do you go through the pants of the guy that's not dead?
Is he unconscious? He's still unconscious, right?
He is unconscious. Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely go through his pants.
Okay.
More specifically, an hour.
Yeah, I go through his pants. Do I need to roll a perception or anything?
No, I mean they're not conscious. They can't like hide something in their pants from you.
That's right, they can't.
Do you want me to like depoison them for you? I can't like
Alright.
purge poison from somebody's body, but I can like neutralize a poison before it gets to you.
I'm surprised you don't
Why
have
would
purge
their
poison
poisons
yet.
get to me?
I don't know. They may have like a prick in their pocket.
Ha!
That like
Phrasing. Anyhow,
wow.
you
My
go through.
phrasing is so bad.
You go through the pants of 5 different guys, 4 of which are dead. You find 32 gold coins and half as many silver coins. You do note 3 of the guys here have the gold coins in their pockets are Celestian, so they're crabs, they're kingfishers, and they're dragons, which are the images that you see on Celestian coins.
How much gold was that? I'm sorry.
32 coins. 32 gold
Total?
coins. So yeah, about 20 of that is in Celestian make. The rest of it is in human make. So it has images of towers. One has an image of what looks sort of like an agora. And another is a flame with a sword over it. You don't know like exactly what cities these are from, but you have seen all of these coins at one time or another and recognize they're not Celestian and they're not orc. So they're either dwarven, which you're fairly sure isn't the case, or they're human.
Got it.
Which, I mean, might raise certain questions for you as to why they've got varied currency, or these guys, I mean, you still find human coins in Celestian areas. They just, eventually they end up out of circulation, melted down, and made into Celestian coins.
It's
I
like
don't
finding
care.
Canadian
The
coins
land-
here.
Yeah, like Nalera just doesn't care. As long as it's gold, she's golden.
Living my life like it's golden.
Okay. Sandre, you head off in that direction. Can I get 2 perception checks from you? And Joe, you're following him, or you're just looking in the direction that he's going?
Hey, you want
At
a
first
3?
I just look, depending
2.
on how far it goes, but if he's really going far, I'll pale him.
Okay.
Do I need perception?
Oh no, Sandre is loud enough that you would
It's also
have
like
to.
a beacon.
You'd basically have to roll a couple, 2 or 3 ones in a row to
Okay.
lose him in these woods. Sandra, you head out for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, heading in that direction. The woods eventually start to thin out a little bit, and the ground gets rockier, and it gets a little colder. When you get to where you stop and decide to turn around, or where you're at right now, whether you turn around or not, you can see. You're not sure whether they're proper mountains or they're just rocky hills, but a series of rocky hills and gorges can be seen in that easterly, slightly northeasterly direction where you're going. And 2 tall peaks can be seen on the other side of them, both of them snow-capped. So that was the original direction that you guys were heading before you before you turn to find a camp. But yeah, there are 2 mountains and then what looks like a series of canyons and rocky areas, maybe some quarries.
Well then, I will head back and tell the others.
All right. By the time Xiao Yu and Sandra get back, it'll have been an hour after the guy woke up. When he does wake up, have you guys bound him at all?
I mean, he can't.
His legs are broke. I mean, I know that.
Nah, I would just kind of be sitting there. I know Nalera would be watching the entire time,
Jesus.
probably.
Clearly, you overestimate her perceptive skills.
I expect Erwin to be watching.
Have you at least taken his weapons away?
I mean, yeah. Well, no. Raven's not that forward thinking in this regard.
Okay.
Nalera didn't think about it either. Nalera thought he was dead. Like, she doesn't know what we're waiting for.
Well, he doesn't have any more money, so he basically is dead to her.
Basically, I mean, you're not wrong.
I did depoison him, though. I sanctified him, just like in a cube. So he doesn't have any more poisons.
Okay.
He just can't walk.
Yeah,
He
he
just
just
can't
he
walk.
just has
And
2
he's gonna be in a lot of pain.
He's just got 2 shattered legs. So he's obviously on the ground. You see he starts
Thinking he's dead.
He starts to blink, and as he opens his eyes, you can see the painful sort of grimace on his face. That waking up is a very painful experience that he looks like he is already regretting. He does a quick look around without actually sitting all the way up, like his eyes are open just a little bit slits, and he sort of, tries to take in his surroundings. Your perception is high enough. You're a perceptive enough person. You see him doing this. How do you respond?
Try not to move around too much. That probably really hurts.
He notice, so he sees that you notice, and he opens his eyes fully. He looks around for something to prop himself up against and doesn't see anything, so he sort of pushes himself up on one elbow and looks around, seeing the corpses for his fellow campers here. And he says, "It was just supposed to be a weekend trip." No, I'm fucking with you. No, he asks who you are and what do you want? Why are you here?
I mean,
I am currently aware that the guy is awake now. I mean, like, I can hear him.
yeah. I mean, we weren't here to mess with you guys. We were just kind of maybe asking for directions.
Oh, not here to mess with us. And he looks at his 2 mangled legs that may never walk again.
You attacked us first, bro. Like, that's self-defense by that point.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to make an argument here. You showed up you showed up on a deserted island in the dark in the woods to our camp. Not a lot of trust going either way on this one.
Hey, we didn't attack you until you attacked us. So,
I feel like
Okay.
at this point we're getting away from the subject at hand, Revan.
all right. Here, I'm just gonna like minor heal to like subside the pain for a little bit. Like, but
That's
yeah,
not a smart choice.
I'm not fixing his leg. He's just subsiding the pain. But yeah. So we came out here because we were looking for a dragon. Yeah, dragon. Laura.
What
dragon?
about dragons?
We're trying to find one. To maybe see one flying around, walking around, roaring around, breathing, something.
How about we ask them why they're here?
Oh yeah. Well, so what brings you to this neck of the woods?
There you go. I go back to like sharpen, like using my dagger to like pick blood and stuff out of my fingernails.
Why do you have blood and stuff inside your fingernails?
There was slashy rip slash stuff, and I mean it gets on you. I mean it gets everywhere.
Did you
Okay.
ever clean Ming's blood out from underneath your nails?
Yes. She carries soap with her on the reg. Like, come on.
Hands
Not on the rag. Okay. No,
No.
he says, well, camping.
I mean,
It's a nice spot. It's isolated. We don't have to worry about crazy murderous like psychopaths wandering through these woods normally.
right? Normally, yeah.
Sure are a lot of weapons in your tents for people who are just out here camping. I don't look up. She's still just kind of like doing her thing, like sitting next to Revan.
He notes your presence and he's like, "Oh, so you guys thieves or something? Going through other people's stuff?"
Me no.
You might notice how they're still in your tent. Maybe not.
I
Their
can't
legs are
notice,
broken, you're
really.
laying on the
I mean,
ground.
I haven't been in there to check, and to be quite honest, I probably wouldn't trust anything you said.
I mean, solid strategy. Let's see how it works out for you.
I mean, I'm a doctor, but that doesn't mean you should trust me.
He looks at he takes your doctor comment in, sort of rolls it around in his head, and then looks at his shattered legs.
And he sees that I'm currently healing him, right?
But you
just like,
said
I gotta
you said I'm
get
currently
away.
healing him, but I'm not fixing his legs.
I mean, the pain's not there.
No, it'll just slowly grow back in a way that he'll never walk
I mean,
again.
of course I'm gonna set them correctly. I'm not gonna like. I mean, I'm just not gonna like make them usable right now.
Let's be fair. What you want might not matter because even a year ago, Zhao Yu was still stabbing people through the throat who might possibly carry an infection.
I mean, you know.
This guy's hours are numbered. Okay.
I'm gonna set his leg properly though. Do I need an anima check?
All right. He begrudgingly thanks you for setting his leg. I mean, the bone is shattered. Like, he doesn't expect this to really mean anything, but or he doesn't expect it to be a meaningful like solution to his problem. But
Gesture.
it is a kind gesture. No, he says, I don't know all of why we're out here, but I do know that there is supposed to be a dragon on this island.
Hey.
Can't you just spell him to tell the truth or something? I mean, I don't
Mm,
approve of magic using, but I feel like that should be a thing.
He'd have to be dead, and that's an outcome I prefer not to force on him currently.
Currently.
Hi, I can help with that.
Let's not. Let's try this differently. Let's try something new today.
Why? We know it works. We're like just talking, like forgetting that the guy is there. Like he could be slipping like some another poison out someplace to put somewhere. I don't know.
I neutralized all his
But at this-
poisons.
I'm like at this point, I'm just kind of like with Revan. I'm like, we could just kill him and make all of our lives easier. Like, what are we gonna do? Take him with us? He can't even walk.
He could be like Jock and Hagar. He could have basilisk blood hidden in his rectal cavity.
Well, I'm not gonna search for it.
You really don't want the coins, do you? All right. No,
I'm saying-
he says, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know that we were here looking for a dragon, but I do know where you could find the people that do know.
Oh, hey, common interests. Look at that. We can help each other out.
You know, I'm just gonna kill him like after he tells you everything.
Please don't. Can we just not kill one? Can we just be nice one day?
He looks back and forth between you two, like, am I buying my life, or am I just entertaining you before she kills me?
I'm trying.
I just smile at him.
Can we not? Like, please, we never let one live. Like, come on. I tried really hard bringing this one back to life. I had to like diffuse his poison. I'd give him an adrenaline shot. Like, I put in a lot of work this time.
Jesus, I don't know which of you is really the bad cop here. Either
Asking
way, he looks around, noticing that your other two people are gone. Erwin is still there, obviously, but
Erwin's gonna help prop him up, by the way.
okay.
Just like,
No, but he says the people that know more about it than he do, that we're actually here to find the dragon. We are just here to make sure that they've got food and a camp to come back to. They're not here. They went further inland.
Where are they?
He looks around, fumbles with a he reaches like into what is either a back pocket or underneath his jerkin.
I throw my dagger at him.
Okay.
He's reaching.
Make the check.
No, I throw it at the ground though, like not at his chest. I'm throwing it at the ground, like right next to his shattered leg.
Oh god. I put it through his shattered leg.
Like, you may want to.
Yeah, I do that.
That's still
Yeah, like give me a second. Let me do it.
that could still kill him.
I've been healing him this entire time.
Have you healed him to full? Because if you've healed him to full, then
He
his
was
legs are gonna
reaching.
be.
I mean, his legs seem. I can't up there.
He was
Just-
reaching.
Yeah.
I've been healing him this entire time. I've healed him at least
He
twice.
okay, so he's reaching for something under his jerkin in the back. And as his hand goes for it, he gets a dagger right through his foot.
Ooh.
You may want to ask permission before you do
he's-
things and do them slowly.
He screams out in pain, and you see like whatever he was reaching for, his hand like flails up uncontrollably because of the pain, and a piece of folded parchment flies just a couple feet out of his hands and lands on the ground near Irwin.
I'm
I pull out another dagger.
gonna.
Do you need to pull out another dagger? Doesn't that dagger return to the belt?
Yeah. Rephrase. I pull out the dagger once it returns to my belt.
Okay.
I'm gonna heal him up. Be like, you may want to ask permission and move slowly when you do stuff like that.
He looks at you and says, "You're a monster. You're both monsters."
Which one? Oh, okay.
He specified.
No, it's both of you.
I'm just healing him.
Do either of you like go to pick up what he dropped? It's out of his reach now, and he can't.
Revan was saying that he was doing it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
after I heal him, I pick him up.
Yeah, it's hand drawn and it's a little sketchy, but it looks like it's a map of the island based on the map of the overall region that you guys have. There's a checkered line going from the northern shore, as opposed to the western shore where you guys landed, to here, and then a line east and slightly north across the island towards. There's two little like peak drawings for mountains, and the one that's to the south is marked with a question mark and a little rune symbol. The one above that has the same question mark and rune symbol, but it's been X'd out.
Oh, cool. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Great.
He's like you. That's a map. They went and they didn't find it there. They were going to the other one. Do I get to live, or are you monsters just gonna put me down?
Okay, so here's the thing. I am trying to be your friend here. All right. So I'm going to make some recommendations for you.
Make a charisma check, because he doesn't believe you.
Do I add speaking to it?
Yeah,
Okay.
doesn't
I mean,
believe you at all.
I haven't done anything wrong. +3 plus.
I haven't done.
done anything wrong.
I haven't done
Revenge.
anything wrong. Quoted from Revengula, the fucking mad
I haven't
doctor.
attacked anybody yet.
All I did
talking
was
about
make
it.
all the bullets and heal all the soldiers. Okay, he still doesn't believe you, but he believes that you believe you. Go on.
And that's all that's important. So recommend that we just do everything slowly because it's in everybody's best interest. You with your situation and us with our situation.
He looks at his
I
shattered
recommend
legs.
we leave him here to die.
No.
I won't do it.
Still here. Still here. All right. So I'm gonna heal him back up. Be like, okay. So let's be friends. First of all, let's introduce myself. Hi, I'm Revan. How are you doing? I'm gonna hold my hand for a handshake.
He just sort of like swats your hand. He doesn't want the handshake.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's valid.
I do
Fair
one
enough.
of these. I'm just sitting here like, just rubbing my temples. Like this is a waste of time. I don't say that, but I'm clearly lost my patience. It's miraculous that this guy is still alive, basically.
So, so here's the thing. So we're gonna have 2 people come back, and they're gonna be pretty chill as long as you don't make any sudden moves. She's
For
gonna
the
be
love of God, I hope Jayu just shoots him with an arrow.
Too late.
he's already technically been shot.
I mean, he has already been shot by an arrow. No. He looks at you after these comments from both of you, and maybe the most genuine thing he said so far to you. You know what? I don't care if you kill me. There are days where I feel bad for these lizard people for what might happen to them, but I can wish that it was you humans that lived here in these goddamn islands, and that you were the ones that were going to get the brunt of this, because you're monsters. You're monsters to yourselves, and you're monsters to everybody else, and at least the lizards are kind to their own people.
So basically what you're saying is you're not human, despite the fact that you look obviously human?
I give him a hoorah from the trees. I was like, yeah. Go lizards.
Give her a prize. He looks at you.
No,
with-
but I do say that. I just kind of look right at him. I'm like, so you're not human? Is that...
Oh no, I'm totally human. Go ahead, put your knife through me.
Totally human.
Just get it taken care of. I'm done.
Sure. I'm actually
coming
gonna.
with us.
I'm actually
Can
gonna.
we tie him someplace to keep him for later?
Yeah. I have
Let's do that.
15 things of rope.
Jesus. We have
I feel like that's an excessive
No,
amount of rope.
nobody asked why Revan's carrying all this rope.
15 10-foot things of rope, and it's made of silk.
Oh, from the
I
spiders.
Yeah.
mean, I have like 47 feet of silk rope, but I mean, that's just...
47.
You cut off 3 feet.
Yeah, because I cut off some. Anyway, yeah, let's keep him away from bugs and things that want to eat him.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my Boy Scout knot tying skills.
There you go. Do you guys put him up like against a tree, or do you just tie him up and leave him like on the ground?
I mean, Erwin's been propping him up, so I think that's all the supervision he's gonna need.
I feel
Okay.
like we should keep him away from, the weapons and stuff that are in the tent. But I feel like if we tie him up to a branch or something like that with like a blanket, we'll be fine.
You guys didn't even take his weapons.
Couldn't take all the weapons anyways.
I don't know that he has his weapon. Like, what would he have? If he has something that's relatively small or something that's sheathed, then I would not see it, and I wouldn't have recognized it. Really.
He has one of the reverse bent swords, the ones that hit like axes.
Okay, no, then I would see it. I go over there and I grab it. I was like, Revan, can you levitate him up onto that sturdy branch and see if we can just tie him to it and keep him there out of the reach of like whatever bears and or wolves and or things that will want to eat him, since he's basically just meat at this point.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, good. String me up. I'd expect nothing better of you.
I mean, I'm gonna try to make it like, comfortable because I'm trying my
I mean, I
best.
can make it worse. We could hang you upside down by your shattered legs.
Nah,
You still that would still be of no surprise coming from you.
Yeah, I know. I'm not that deep. Like, this is it.
A good representation of your people. Whatever you're gonna do, go ahead and do it.
Okay. Well, I mean, can we just do it like when we're about to go to sleep? So yeah, because I'll be sitting here trying to talk to him.
Okay. It is.
Oh, I thought we were leaving. Yeah, I mean, we'll do it before we leave. He's fine to stay. As long as somebody's constantly watching him, we don't have to string him up right now.
You guys hit the island about noon. You found this camp whereabouts 4:30, and it's approaching like 6 o'clock now. Xiao Yu and Sandre will be back about 7.
Okay.
6:30, 7 o'clock. So if you are staying somewhere the night, or for the night, this camp is already set up.
Yeah, we'll just stay here.
No reason to waste a good camp. Okay, do you have any?
Light the fire.
Do you have anything else that you want to
Revan.
question him about?
You said like the fire where?
Don't do that at all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So I'm pretty much just spending my time trying to get on this guy's good side. Like when Alara's being a very bad cop, I'm trying to be good cop as best as possible.
I'm not bad cop. I don't give a shit cop.
So like I'm gonna finish healing him and stuff like that.
I just kind of gotta go about my business, like unpacking and stuff like that.
Nalera
and,
is I wouldn't mercy kill you, cop.
gonna.
basically. So I just keep an eye. I would just kill him, but I mean not out of murder. Anyway, she
Sweet.
goes about doing her thing, and then takes the map that Revan had been given or taken off the floor, and she starts to actually create a better version of the map, like a clearer version, because that's her skill set.
Okay.
That's her real job.
I'm gonna
Make
and,
a make a vocation check for that.
What would that be?
With your level now, it's probably like a +7 total. Damn. That's it's the best map recreation that you've ever done.
Ever
I don't.
made.
You didn't actually roll the dice.
I didn't.
Oh, she rolled 20 +7. You didn't roll a
Oh.
d20.
Sorry, that's dumb. Sorry.
You cheater.
My bad. I have all of my macros. I don't have one for this. My bad.
Nope, doing it again. Still cheating. Still cheating.
Slash.
God damn it. This shit is sucks. I actually don't even remember how to just straight up roll.
It's /roll space d20.
Thank you.
There you go.
Roll 20 plus 7. 7. Roll.
There we go. That's it.
Okay. 20. That's still an exceptionally good roll.
Still
Okay.
pretty Ds.
All right. You add some nice details to the trees, and you define the coastline, and you draw a little image of what you assume a snow dragon to look like, circling the peak where they had the question mark.
I mean, we've already established Nalera's quite the artist.
It's like there be dragons, maybe, hopefully.
Just a dragon going, Oh.
All right. Yeah, you guys string this guy up. He's having.
Before I go,
No. We're not going to string him up until like we are going to leave the camp. For the night, we are just going to make sure that he stays alive and like I guess feed him, whatever. And just keep somebody's going to be watching him at all times.
You're not even
And
tying
we
him up
actually
then?
have Yeah,
not right now.
he's already tied up. His hands are bound. But when we leave, we'll if somebody doesn't kill him first, then we'll leave him.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like I'm gonna pull out like my version of the map and the one that I like got the translated. I'm be like, you have the same runes on this, don't you? This mean, and I'll be like, this means like shock dragon and all the other stuff, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, is that what he's saying?
Yep.
Like, haha. So it was right. So
At this point, I'm not part of the conversation. I'm
Yeah.
over here doing me, like just being Nalera.
so I'm just like, so what's with the disguise? Are you guys like? You said you guys are like running from something.
Oh, I'm just incredibly self-loathing. That's why I look like one of these repugnant creatures.
Oh yeah.
He spits at you.
I'm just kind of like, oh.
Did he end up like taking disguise off?
No, he still
No.
looks like a human.
Oh,
Yeah, he just admitted that he wasn't.
yeah.
Well, at least yeah. He's kind of upset.
Okay. So Revan and not Revan, Xiaoyu and Sandre show up to camp after being gone for about an hour and a half. Between then, 2 hours. When you guys return, you see that the person that Revan had kept alive is tied up and is sort of off to one corner. Nalera and Revan are just doing what might be small talk or might just be Revan talking while Nalera cleans her fingers.
Yeah, at this point I have like a bucket of water and I am like washing my hands with my soap.
It's cold water.
So Okay. He's how is he hanging? Upside down by
He's
his
not
feet?
hanging. He's
He's
just
not. He's just sitting on the ground, like propped up against the tree.
I ask him why he's still alive.
like.
Am I right?
Guys, can I just try to make friends this one time? Guys, can we just chill? Do we have to
I do look up at Jayu and I say, Jai, he's not a real human.
Oh,
We're
I'm not in
keeping
the
him
tree
as
anymore.
evidence. Oh, well, either way, I
mean-
look at him.
I knew we were. I knew he wasn't. We all knew that.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, we're keeping him.
For what?
He's Revan's new pet.
He's not my pet.
Kill him, resurrect him. He's your pet.
I don't want to do that. That's weird. That's not how you make friends.
That's the kettle.
He's just trying to raise a family in peace.
It's the pot calling the kettle ebonite, man. Oh no, that's gross. Raising people from the dead.
Like, this is just like the whole act of killing somebody just to be friends with them. Like, there are avenues that you go through. That's like the very last step. If you
I feel like the longer this guy is alive, the least likely he is to be your friend.
I mean, I don't know.
So why is he here? As I return to guys, like, what did you learn from him?
I feel like we
Um,
could keep him and give him to the Emperor and have questions tortured out of him.
Are you guys talking in front of him, or do you go off to one side?
I mean, I'm talking in front of him.
Okay,
It's
just
like,
making sure.
What did you guys ask?
Me
about?
too.
Fuck.
I'm just over here like, you guys catch more flies with honey and vinegar.
But what? Seriously, what?
Why
did
would
you,
I even want to catch flies?
What did
It's just a figure of speech.
Now, Larry seems like the
Oh.
type that might just pull wings off flies because she's bored.
I just go back and do my thing, and I'm like, Revan can explain it, and yeah, I just go back to
Okay.
cleaning my weapons and stuff.
So apparently they were hired by a group of people to come here and find a dragon and give them information. Apparently
People.
they weren't the actual hunters. The actual hunters are deeper in the forest.
They're just
They were just here to like take care of the tents and the camp.
what part of group is he with?
Mm,
I go ask him.
All right. He's awake. He's tied up and he's propped up against a tree in a sitting position because his legs don't work.
Wait, how long has he been tied up for?
Well, not that long, like an
Only
hour.
about like 20, only like 20 minutes.
20 or 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I ask him who he works for. Why is he here?
I already told your friends everything I plan on saying.
I mean, is it worth dying? I ask him is it worth dying over, or like not threateningly, just
Realistically,
Real talk, man.
I don't know that I can go back at this point anyways, and I don't expect to survive this encounter.
okay.
I mean, can we not?
Let's
like,
be
leave-
straight with one another, shall we?
Yeah. So where would you I mean, there's probably other things you can do. You've got a nice disguise. You don't necessarily need to go back there. I have work that I could hire you for.
You
so
guys are
willing.
you guys are trying to run from something, right? You said so, or at least I heard.
Word on the street, yeah, because he didn't tell us shit. So it was actually like that. I wasn't there,
Yeah,
but like,
just like little birdie told me.
He's ignoring Revan. Zhao, you asked him something, or you trying to like
Yeah.
proposition him?
So I said, it's I totally understand that you can't go back. I'm in a sort of position where that my sort of duty bound honor too. So what if you don't die and I give you a new job that you get paid for? Uh, make it your own.
What good would money do me?
women, power.
The
Why were
basics.
you out here in the first place if not to get paid?
A higher purpose.
Okay. Well, let's talk about it. Maybe I can help that out.
I can help. I have ceremonial tea.
I can help make it.
Sandra hated ceremonial tea.
When did you get ceremonial tea?
At the
Yo, he's
start,
had that.
I bought like I think 30 packs of it when we
Oh.
started.
Yeah.
And I have Sea Lord wine. Does that count? We can make a tea.
It's not tea.
And by tea, I mean a party.
A party.
It's lit.
No,
Yeah.
he tells you no, he's not here for funds. He's here for a higher purpose. And you said, what could you give him? Is that more or less?
Yeah. Like, well, no, I mean, like, I want to talk about the higher purpose because if he has other motivations, I'm willing to help him out with those still. And I doubt that our lines are so against each other that we have to find some common ground.
All right. He asks who you are. What's your name? What's your rank?
Tell him, you.
A pretty big deal.
I'm first scout the Celestian Empire.
You are okay. So you are lying to him then.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a streetwise check then.
I'll be.
Hey. Hey.
Probably didn't even roll that well. What is that? That's a
That's a
13.
The 13.
I'm over here. Oh man.
He didn't roll very well. And you give him your name.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
heard.
I also say I'm a Knight of Soul.
Okay. He doesn't seem to know what that is. But he does perk up when he hears your name. I have heard of you. You're somewhat important here in the islands.
Yeah.
Do you have authority to speak or to make deals?
Of course.
He looks around to Revan and Alera and says,
I've moved. I've like moved to the other side over
okay.
by the fire.
It doesn't
But I
matter.
am watching.
His neck's not broken, it's his legs. He can still look at you.
I'm smiling.
He says, it makes me feel dirty to speak with these two, but with one such as you, I feel like perhaps there is some sort of agreement that we could come to.
All right. I untie him. It's like, let's talk like people.
Should I fix his leg?
Yes, please. God.
Okay.
God, is that even a question?
Yeah, we get some chairs and some food. So let's.
If only you were still. Who was it that kept the folding chair with him at all times?
That was Kelps,
Yeah,
not to be confused with Phelps.
true.
It was his.
But a folding chair at all times, just so he could always sit.
Yeah. Yeah. If the need ever arose.
Alright, he tells you. He doesn't thank you, but he gives you one of those, like, he doesn't glare at you like you're an asshole.
Like, hey, thanks for being a king, but I shouldn't have to thank you.
Yeah.
because That's
Like you're a lesser being, so stop.
Yeah, not necessarily a lesser being, just like an animated,
being.
like, pile of refuse. But that's because you're human, you know.
I mean, I can't help that.
Yeah, well, maybe. You could be undead. You could be a lich by now. You've chosen not to. No, either way, he says what he needs is he needs safe harbor to bring people to live.
okay. How many people?
Many.
Like 1,000, like 20,000.
Probably 10 times that amount.
200,000.
That's about 1 million people.
That's a lot of. Yeah. That's a lot of people.
Understandably so.
It's like the whole country.
Should I
or-
even ask why you're running? Because
Well, you
The only reason
you do know, like, the Celestian Empire has a population of roughly 16 million.
Yeah, I mean, I know, but to move that many people is, and I kind of assume that if you're trying to move that many people, you're running from something. There's no reason to do that other. Uh, I ask him if it has any relation to the hole in this, something like that, because that's the only thing. That's the only reason I would imagine people would move like that. People,
The hole in the what?
the hole in the ocean.
sea.
Oh, the hole in
okay.
the inner sea? No. He had heard about that, but he's not entirely sure what that is, because he hasn't been there since it happened. No, he tells you his people are fleeing from insurmountable savagery, something that makes humans almost look civilized by comparison.
Oh wow, yeah, that is.
It's a question of survival, and in such cases, most of us are of the opinion that simply asking for assistance or asking for land and possessions already in the hands of someone else is likely to come back as a no and result in violence anyhow.
And you could have started with it.
My people come first. You have to understand something like that.
Absolutely. I asked him about his rank and his sort of hold, that even if I was to make a deal with him, would it go so far that he talked to the right people? Or would it have to go through some like large political process? Like, what exactly that work?
He looks at Nolera and says, "I'm reaching into my jacket," and just stares at her, waiting for her to like give him an affirmative response, like she's listening.
I do one of these, just like nod my head, like. But I do have a dagger out, like I'm ready. Gun is loaded.
The
Dagger's loaded?
dagger's loaded.
Locked and loaded.
No, he reaches into his under his jacket and pulls out. It's on a small, not twine. It's stronger than that, but it tears fairly easily. And he hands you a small brooch on a, not a chain, but like I said, basically twine. It looks like it's bronze, or it's like very damaged brass. It's scuffed up a bit. It's a circle with a small. It looks like amethyst. It's purple gemstone in it, shaped like a leaf. And he tells you he's third ranger to the local detachment here. He doesn't technically have the ability to make any sort of deal with you, but he knows who does.
Okay. How many people are on this island that could get assistance? We have a common enemy.
Before you showed up, he looks over at the pile, at the pile of dead bodies.
Sorry about that.
14 of us headed inland to find the beast. 5 of us stayed here to hold the camp.
Great job. I don't say that.
Great
He
job.
thinks it very pettily.
I don't say that. I think it, just so we're all clear.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, he introduces himself. His name is Asker.
Okay.
How do you spell that?
I put it in the chat. Yeah, he says the the leader of their detachment might have the ability to make such deals, or could at least agree to some sort of official meeting. Unless they're dead, then he doesn't have that sort of authority on his own.
What are your people called? I just randomly blurt out.
He ignores any questions from the humans.
I look at Jayu. I'm like, please.
Yeah. We'll get that later. So wait, so there was 14 total and 5 were here, so there's still 9 left.
14 went inland, 5 remained here.
Okay. So okay. So and he's 1, 5.
So 19 total. Which,
okay.
I believe you'd been through the tents as well. You and Alara had both.
I don't think Jayu had, but I
I
had.
went through a couple.
He went through a couple of them.
Okay, yeah.
I told you, it does look like supplies for more than a dozen people, unless these guys were planning to be here for like 6 months. That, and there's more weapons and ammunition here than 5 people could go through in any realistic amount of time that would make it worth carrying it here.
This guy is fully healed at this point, right?
Yup.
Yeah.
So when are they supposed to be back?
Whenever they're done, whenever they found the beast.
Well, we have a similar goal here. We would like to get beast. Now you guys just want to kill it because you want the island, or what?
He seems very hesitant about it. We would prefer not to kill it because it lived here before we did. But we need an understanding from it that it won't get in our way.
Hey, that's the exact thing I wanted. Great.
He again looks to the humans, and it looks to Sadre as well. But he says, "Your people do seem more alike to my own than these."
Yep.
Nalara snorts. She's just like,
So let's say we try something out. I need to talk drag.
you need to talk what?
I need to talk with the dragon. Because I also don't want it killed because it has some use geographically, locally that I'd like to sort of have a piece with it. As far as helping you harbor millions of people, I obviously can't say that prove something like that in position, but I could certainly lubricate the gears of my people, my place, after already pretty much harboring a new group just recently, especially if we could find common ground against what's currently going on our government politically.
I just kind of like look at Jayu and I don't touch him or anything like that, but I kind of like signal him and like whisper quietly. I'm like, if you are capable of having the ear of the dragons, I don't see who would have more power than you.
Well,
I don't
only-
say this loud enough
Yeah.
for the
I mean, I
duder to hear, but I do say
Yeah.
this to Jayu. I'm like, I feel like there are certain promises that you would be physically unable to make.
Yeah.
Because
We'll see.
I don't think they like the emperor that much.
What, the dragons?
I can't imagine that they would be besties with any Celestian except for you.
Oh, they don't have to be. I'm talking about the people, not the dragon. The dragons was um we
Either
want peace
way,
with the
who
dragon.
if you are correct and if you have it,
Yeah.
then you're the one in power. And the same could be said of these hundreds of thousands of people, if not
Right.
more.
Yeah. Um.
And then I stop whispering. I just kind of
Yeah.
like take a step back.
What if I could promise safe harbor at least the island? Um. I don't know. So we've encountered quite a bit of your people, and I kind of take the necklace off that has the pointy ears, and I kind of like throw it to the ground. I'm
That's
like,
creepy.
that was super rude. I completely forgot I was wearing that.
That's
Um,
creepy.
and I'm like, what if we could at
What a
least
monster.
like so we've been hunted by some of the people, and I don't know what the reason for that was. Um,
We have an APB out.
right. But I don't know if it's just because we're seen as an enemy also in the area, because you want to occupy the islands. I'm not sure if you know, but I could almost certainly grant pretty much safe harbor through the island up to a given point, and that would give me enough time and you enough time until we could find more long kind of like see if seems like that would at least be official. I also want the question of why are people trying to us?
Why are people trying to kill you? Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah, the pointy eared.
All
And
right.
then at that point, I also ask, what do you like? What do you guys called as far as like, my dialect or dialect common?
Your people don't have a word for us.
Right.
But he says, imagine, if you will, I think it's within your mental capabilities. Your people came from the small continent to the south, yes?
Yep.
Imagine if the dragons you uh, that you put down to fuel your war machines instead had driven your people from the island and you had to find safe harbor on the continent. Would you have gone openly to ask safe harbor from the humans, or would you have done whatever was necessary to take the land your people were going to need? Knowing what you know of humans.
Uh,
And in this,
Loaded
you understand the
question.
situation that we are in.
right.
Loaded question.
Right. I mean, I want to say, it, but I know that it wouldn't have done anything.
We have not killed any of your people out of a sense of malice.
Right.
Nowhere.
These
Sorry, I have
these
some-
ones, however, as I told them, I truly wish the situation had been reversed and these had been their lands, because given the way they treat each other, I feel like everyone here would be better off with as many of them gone as possible. Just the stories of what they do to one another is enough to make me believe that this place would be better off without them.
Okay.
Revan actually looks legitimately confused right now.
I mean, we could.
He's clearly
Oh, I get it.
he's like vehemently anti-human.
Yeah,
Right.
no, like Revan
I'm
actually
pretty-
like looks confused as to what's going on, like what he's talking about.
I'm anti, uh, religious, the whole religious type that is.
We can't. What? What'd you say?
The religious type that are against the less want to start a war. Also, some orcs are kind of
Not you, Sandre.
not Sandre specifically, but you know the ones that are.
I'm like, he doesn't even know about the war.
Right. Fuck. All right. Well, let's go find your at least help him with the dragon. Um, figure out more later. think I think we can find something that'll work for everybody. At least we agree that we should not kill the dragon. We can help it. Promised another dragon that we wouldn't, so try to do that. Also, there might be more than one. Didn't know if you. So you may want to go one.
We were aware that there may be
Stefan,
more
you
than.
keep breaking up, by the way.
I'm not sure why.
Yeah. He looks to you and he says, "We're aware that there may be more than one on this island."
Okay.
I show Stefan my map. Stefan, I show you my map. I hand it to him. The one that I drew.
Delara breaks the fourth wall.
Fuck off.
Ooh, shade. No. Yeah. The map is a more detailed map of the island you're on, with a path leading through the sort of canyon gorge area that you and Sandre had seen to the east, and up towards the southern of the two mountain peaks.
And there's pretty drawings on it.
Yeah, and there's flowers and a compass rose and all sorts of stuff,
So good.
because it's a fairly masterful drawing of a map.
Quiet clapping.
So, what are your plans from here? Like, the guy is obviously in a position, he's not calling the shots here, you guys are.
Right. Yeah. Let's go find his friends. He's coming with us.
I feel like maybe he should sleep, and so
Nah.
should Revan.
Nah. We're gonna splint it and go.
Well, I think the sleep is, it's about 7:30 at this point. And at least two of you need to sleep to survive.
Also, only maybe Revan can't see in the dark. I mean, it's just a thing.
Has it been an hour, or is Sandre still like a lighthouse?
It's been about 3 hours since you first cast that spell on him.
Okay, so Sandre's not a lighthouse anymore.
Nope.
Now he's all in black.
Like an hour into the conversation, we just go woo without the power.
You blink a couple times. All right, are you sleeping here? Because Revan and Sandre are going to end up being tired very soon.
I stay awake to just keep an eye on this guy. But I mean, I obviously lay down on my bedroll and watch him because comfort.
Snuggle up to him.
That's so weird. Just
Sandre and Revan got the snuggles.
I'm not snuggling up to him. I'm actually gonna walk up to the lair after everybody goes to sleep.
Oh, I'm like, don't snuggle on me.
I don't want to snuggle on you.
Gross. All right, but are you planning on camping, or are you going to push on from here right now?
No, we camp. We set up camp.
I don't know.
Rephrase.
Didn't the flying
Go
monkey
ahead.
things say they're gonna attack us if we stay here too long?
Oh yeah, I asked him about those things.
I haven't seen those things before now, but I've seen things
I don't
like
think I
them
saw
on some of
at
the
all
other
'cause he was
islands.
unconscious when they came by.
He was still conscious. He was the last one to go down
The only one to go down.
and come back up.
Not.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Well, what does he
Yeah.
think? Does he think we would find them?
He says,
Maybe?
the crag between here and the mountain is already a snowy, foggy place. In the dark, I doubt even someone like yourself or the orc here are going to be able to see very far.
Okay. Well, sleep it out.
Can I? So like
And
before we,
from what I heard back from our party, our hunting party that went out the first time, it's also infested with trolls.
oh fun.
just a heads up to show you that, you know, I'm willing to give this a shot if you are.
Yeah. Let's do it.
We just become best friends.
We just become best friends.
This is why we don't kill people.
All right, you guys are really
Just
good
jealous
at
'cause
killing
he's friends
people.
with Jayu and not you.
So
I'm
what
just
needs
saying-
to
I'm
happen,
sick,
and
I
this
don't
is
know.
how every time someone survived and then I've been charismatic, is they almost died, and then I left the area entirely, either through dying or like doing something else, and then I came back and I was like, why is this person still alive? I guess we should talk with them.
I like how I'm always the person who's like, guys, let's keep him alive. Everyone's like, no, let's kill him. Let's kill him. Like,
Yep.
guys, no, let's keep him alive.
And then it winds up working against you because they just hate you anyway.
Right. But, you know, whatever.
Not without reason.
Anyway, what did you have to say? Like, everybody's sleeping, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you have to say,
And so Revan's like,
Revan?
So, does everybody hate us?
Everybody
No,
hates
just you.
Well.
I'm just kidding. I don't say that. I'm like, I just, does it matter?
Kinda. I mean, if we're
Why?
trying-
Does it make you do your job less effectively?
Well, I mean, if I need to help people and I
If you're
can't
like a
get near
manager.
them,
fucking McDonald's.
I mean, it also helps when people are more willing to let you help them.
I mean, work on your charisma score, man. I don't know what to tell you.
but I mean, I guess it's just more.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I honestly can't really put myself in that position. My job is the opposite of your job. Although I suppose in this case, like, I'm actually trying to keep Jayu alive and get him someplace so that I can collect the rest of my money. But
I guess.
I mean, this is a very unique situation for me. But in the end, I'm going to kill anything that comes at him. So I mean, it's give or take.
Woo!
I guess my
yeah.
question is, what did we do?
I'm
Look at
pretty
what
sure
they-
that we threatened to murder him in the most
No,
terrible, awful ways, and that, in fact, in my experience, that doesn't tend to endear people to you. In fact, it's more of an intimidation tactic than anything, which is the complete opposite of what you as a person would want.
no. I mean, like humans in general. Everybody hates us, apparently. What did we do?
Oh, as a human?
Hmm.
You didn't do anything. Your race as a people are slaughterers and terrible human beings. Literally.
Oh,
No, Larry just does one of these.
They take everything, land, source,
yeah, but Revan in character
They-
doesn't know this.
and they basically shit on all of it with basically no care in the world.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not wrong.
And
A
then
majority
they
of
do
my
that
contacts
for-
and contracts come from humans. Very few are actually Celestian.
Right.
And the one contract that I've had recently that is a Celestian contract is, in fact, to keep someone alive. So I don't know if that helps to put it in perspective for you.
Yeah, this is more of a, like Revan legitimately doesn't know like why
Okay.
everybody's upset. So he's like, okay,
Well, it's not a new thing.
it's not a new thing. But he just
Yeah.
literally doesn't know.
I mean,
A lot
he's
a lot
young.
of races never liked. The way.
yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why I do what I do, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's my disposition, and I don't know if that's because of my race. I don't get overly existential about it, but I can say that every time I've met a contact to open up a new system, they never seem surprised that I am a human.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you.
She's Crumbopulous Nalera. She buys guns from your granddad.
I just love killing people.
I just love killing people. Sure am good at it.
I just love killing me some people.
All right. What about the rest of you? Did the rest of you have anything that you wanted to speak to each other about, or speak to ask her about? He's not talking to humans, but if Sandra or Zhao, you have anything to ask, or if Erwin wants to put in a comment.
I tell Erwin to shut his goddamn mouth.
I really want him to
He's,
just growl at him
he's
one
a
day.
species that's been unchanged for billions of years.
He's a perfect killing machine.
You're really
Pure
flip floppy
muscle.
when it. You're really flip floppy when it comes to him.
What, Erwin?
Yeah.
I hate his guts, but I have so much respect.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. He's a perfect killing machine.
He's the perfect killing machine,
I feel like a shark would be a well, no, because I guess
No.
sharks can't leave the water.
Yeah.
right?
It's a problem.
Crocodiles and alligators have natural predator.
I mean,
They
neither do
are-
turtles once they're adults. Once they reach adulthood.
The natural predator for large turtles is cancerous growths.
Ooh,
Well then.
That's not okay.
even
Okay, we're getting so off track here.
Let's go back.
alligators don't get cancer.
Yeah, they just live basically until they live until they can't live anymore, and generally it's not
Oh.
other creatures that kill them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So basically, Erwin's gonna outlive Revan, despite the fact that Revan is likely to outlive everyone else, just from not being killed.
I stay up to keep an eye on the duder.
Okay. The rest of you, like I was saying, do the rest of you have anything you wanted to add to each other before you sat down for the night?
Oh, by the way, I also drain blood from the dead bodies. Put it away.
I could just do that in public now. I
Later.
don't have to.
I know, I don't have to be sneaky about it. I don't even sneak anymore. I mean, but like people are sleeping. Like I'm not gonna do it in broad daylight. That's just
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, that's rude. It's just.
Like I'm not gonna ask for it. You know what I'm saying?
Alright. You don't get as much as you otherwise would have, since the bodies have been dead for hours by the time
Wow.
you do it. But they do still have, I mean, there is still blood in there.
Enough for my canteen.
That
That was once Ming's.
was once Ming's, yeah.
There's a little bit of whiskey in there.
No, now I have a canteen full of blood and a flask full of wine. So I mean, it's a party over here.
Just mix it together and what do you get?
Party.
And then you got blood wine. Except it's probably like 70% blood, 30% wine, as opposed to the other way around, where it's like 10% blood, 90% wine. 10% blood is still high blood content for Celestian blood wine.
Anyway,
Either way. When you guys wake up in the morning, the guy is still there. He did not leave, despite being untied.
You're also all dead. We're re-rolling.
We're re-rolling. You guys are all playing as this guy and his friends. He raises all of them from the dead. Turns out he was an
Dibs on the
necromancer.
captain.
5 players, 1 character. Let's go.
No, he is up and he's rearmed himself since Nalera took his sword yesterday.
what does he rearm himself with?
With another one of the heavy
Larger
blades.
The curved blades, you said?
Yeah.
Curved swords.
Curved swords. Reverse curved swords. Yeah. And you see him up in the morning. Nalera, you've just watched him do this. He's set about digging graves for the dead people.
I help him.
Surprisingly, I also help.
I don't think
It's
he wants
tough
to help.
because frozen dirt or cold dirt is very difficult to dig through, and he doesn't
That's
want
fine.
Nalera's help.
And yeah, I also help.
He doesn't want Nalera's help.
I help, I help anyway.
He hits you with a shovel.
Oh man.
Does he really?
He swings it at you like, get away. He doesn't want you involved in this, especially after you drained the blood from them.
I didn't do it like in front of him.
He did it while he was sleeping.
They're all like laid out with small trails of blood from like major arteries. They've all clearly been drained of blood.
Fine, fuck it. I don't help. I just let it take however extra long it's gonna fucking take to get this shit done.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah. He tells you he's not going anywhere until he gets these buried. But he recommends that you guys go on ahead, and he will stay here or catch up later if he finishes before you return. He knows where you're going.
Okay. Is
I
there a
will.
like a code word we could use with them that would signify peace?
This
Can
is a
I-
terrible idea.
Can I summon Tremor and have him do it? So I'm not directly.
He doesn't want your help.
It's not my help. Somebody else's help.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Is there like a code word or nothing? Be like, tell Steve's.
Uh, he, yeah. In Silesian, you would call it by wood and by brook. Just like that.
Okay. Wooden by yeah.
And that's more or less the sort of I come in peace statement.
Okay.
Would I be able to tell if
Attack
he's
on
lying
sight.
or not?
You can attempt. It's a streetwise check to see if someone's lying.
I'll do it.
Absolutely.
All right, Zhao, you don't think he's lying? It seems like he may not be telling you everything, but it's not a lie.
Okay.
And you think with it, he tells you like in your when he's told you he spelled it out as like in your language. That may be the difference, is that if he were calling out to someone in his language as opposed to Silesian, it might be slightly different, but you believe that his translation is an accurate one.
Okay.
Derek, what can you see what I typed to you in Discord?
Do the does the necklace that translates languages work for languages I've never heard before in my life?
They have to be a Well, okay. So the only stipulation for that is it has to be a legitimate language. And by legitimate, I mean the person speaking it has to understand it as such. So if someone were just spouting off gibberish, that wouldn't translate to anything.
Right. So, because I still have the one from the people in the Dwarven city. If I turn that on and he told me, actually, it would probably just translate into.
It would translate into Silesian, yeah, because it translates to you as a language that you understand.
Okay. So yeah, words that don't have a definite language be lost in translation.
Correct. You would sort of you might get the notion of what he's trying to say, but there may not be a direct word for it.
Okay.
All right, yeah, but he goes about digging the graves, and like I said, if he finishes and you guys have not shown up yet, then he will head off in that direction. Otherwise, he will be here.
Okay.
Okay.
Roger, Dodger.
Dodger.
After we're out of earshot, I just look at Jayu and I'm like, keeping this guy alive is a terrible idea. Especially, I mean, he has seemingly no real power anyway.
What did he even do?
Think. Who knows? Maybe Revan was onto something this entire time.
He's a potential risk.
I mean, you're a potential risk.
I've been saying that
You're not
about
wrong.
Revan since day one.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I can always have Arya
Yeah.
watch over him,
you
make sure he doesn't do
you were
anything.
far more dangerous than anything I've ever. Maybe except for
There's a compliment in there somewhere.
incredibly magical underground demon dragons. And even then, I see you more.
I almost dropped it in the pit. So
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
But-
There's
fuck
a
that thing
compliment
up.
in there
You're
somewhere.
you're still so you're scarier.
could I could always just summon Arya
Yeah, but
and
I'm
have her
in your
watch him.
pocket, so
For now.
Okay. So do you guys head off then? You're heading off in the direction of the gorge area?
Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
I'm also gonna be like, also if you don't trust him, I could always like summon Arya and have her follow him around for like the time that she lasts.
But that's not
What's
gonna
an
be very
aria?
long.
That's my wind elemental. It's her name.
What's the distance on it? It can't be more than.
She would still only last for rounds as opposed to minutes or hours.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And if anything, it's more likely to make him hate us more.
Is that possible?
I say
You wouldn't
us
see it.
as in
Mm.
You couldn't see it anyway. Be a guy.
Just a will-o'-the-wisp.
Well, no, that's something completely different.
Okay.
yeah. Regardless, let's go find this fucking dragon. Am I right?
Okay. So you guys head off in the direction that Sandre and Jayu walked off in last night and came back from. You reach... The forest never completely thins out. It's still like a moderately wooded area when you reach
And Nolera keeps her eyes like up in the trees too, just to kind of like be on the lookout for any more of those little creepy duders.
Yeah. So to describe this, you can see out in front of you an area that is not... It's not just hills going up. It's peaks that are rising, a couple hundred feet above your current level, but the valleys that go between them are also lower than you're currently standing at. So you're going to be moving forward and down a little bit, and then coming up on the other side at the base of those two mountains. So you're passing into like a canyonous type area.
How far apart are they?
They look... You can't see the base of them from here. They look like they may sprout, like, be right next to each other, adjacent. But it's difficult to tell because the hills in front of you rise enough that you can't see, like, the bottom 10-15% of them.
Okay. I mean, like from peak to peak.
Oh, from peak to peak? Make a perception check just to see, like, to gauge distance.
17.
Help it.
Maybe
Assist.
maybe
put
4 or 5 miles.
My hands up to his eyes like they're binoculars.
There you go. You get the circles.
Yeah.
What do you see?
Uh,
Yeah, 4 maybe 5 miles from peak to peak. If you're guessing, there's nothing else to gauge it by. Unfortunately, there's just 2 peaks poking up, but you're usually fairly good
Yeah,
with your visuals.
Yeah, I was just making sure if I could teleport to it or not.
Oh no, way too far. So you guys are here. You've passed into the gorge. Every once in a while, you hear the sounds of animals. There are rams and some lions and other large cats that live up here. None of them that haven't been scared away as you approached, but you've got, you figured it'd probably be about 2 hours of walking through. You're about halfway there now, and you've reached an area where it's become surprisingly quiet. You haven't seen a goat or other large animal for about 10 minutes.
I draw my sword and dagger.
All right. Can I get perception checks from you guys as you enter the area here?
Hey! Hey!
Oh.
Damn.
Sandre, come on. Yay! 4.
Hey.
Sandre
All
didn't
in
get a
order.
1.
I
Okay.
can see my own 2 hands.
Oh.
Yeah.
Both of them at the same time.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's a little bit high for a 4.
Right? No, Revan and Nolera. You guys can hear the sound of, it sounds like rock slides somewhere not too distant from you. You can hear, like, the tumbling of stones. You also, Revan, hear, it almost sounds like thumping, similar to what a drum sounds like. But it's at irregular intervals.
Is there anything or any like way that I can kind of like sneak through this pass, or is it basically just kind of all out in the open?
It's mostly all out in the open. You guys are walking through here. It's a fairly foggy location.
I
And
do maintain a like defensive posture then.
I'm gonna tell him about the drum.
Okay. It's like I said, it's a foggy location. It's not actively snowing here, but the walls of the canyon that you're in are lined with frost and slippery from it.
Mm.
You don't. Okay.
What direction did the sound come from?
You mean the sound of rocks slipping?
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult to tell because sounds like that echo through these canyon walls. It sounds like it's coming from probably in this direction as opposed to over here.
Okay. And then this is like basically a big fork in the canyon. Like we
Correct.
can go left excuse me, we can go right or we can keep going this way.
Yeah. And then from where you're at, Nalera, you actually see what looks like a corpse of a large-ish creature propped up against a pile of rocks.
Where?
Oh, you see it. Who sees it then?
I feel like no one sees it.
Yeah, we can only see her 5 feet.
Oh, I
I mean,
see more
I
than
can
5
see
feet.
further, but I don't see it. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on my screen.
Xiao Yu, do you see it?
I can see up to.
I can see all the way up to here and
This?
I don't see anything.
Oh, now I can't see shit.
Yeah, now we are all blind.
Huh. For some reason, it's not doing that correctly. Okay.
I mean,
Never mind. You're seeing it correctly. For some reason, it's showing differently on my screen. No, forget what I said.
okay.
There's not a big corpse of a dead thing nearby. Or if there is,
I kind of. Go ahead.
go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say I looked at Jayu and I say, Revan just mentioned that there was the sound over this way, and I just kind of looked at him like, do we want to keep heading that way or do we want to see what's over here first? Like a true adventurer.
I want to go towards not the sound bullshit.
Sounds good to me. Where did our new friend, I say dripping with sarcasm, where did he say that we may or may not meet up with the rest of his
This direction?
chums? Just in this general direction? I mean, I'm sure if we don't find them, they'll find us. So. Ooh, I see this.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was talking about before. Nalera, as you round the corner there, you can see a large humanoid-ish creature. It's covered in fur. You're not sure whether it's its own or it's wearing furs. It's sort of sitting into a pile of rocks, but it's not moving. Okay. Yep. You skirt along the
now that
wall
I'm this-
there.
Yeah. Now that I'm this close and I was as quiet as possible, do I need to do a sneak check for that to see how
Yes.
quiet I was? Okay. I wasn't very quiet at all. I was like the least quiet I've ever been.
Not nearly as
But-
quiet as he could have been.
Yeah, I mean, but it's fine. I mean, the thing is dead. And I mean, clearly there's nothing around that could possibly have killed this other than me. And
So,
it's fine.
boom, you killed it.
Yeah, it must have been me. It
Uh,
must have been me.
You get up on the creature, or you're next to it. It's tall and it is humanoid in shape. You'd guess it's probably about 9-10 feet tall. It's difficult to tell exactly because it's sort of slumped down into a pile of rocks. It is covered with lacerations it's got about 7 arrows sticking out of its gut, and it's got a scorch mark across the upper top left quadrants of its body, like someone had thrown a bomb at it.
Bomb.
Can I see anything on it? Can I see an aura on it? Or
No,
no?
because you're nowhere near it.
You're nowhere
bro.
near it.
Oh, okay. I thought we were close to it.
Yeah. You know which way Nolera went.
Do I see this like weapon that it has, or is that like not with it right now?
There is a large gnarled club. It's really, really primal and rudimentary. It's a stone club that looks like it has a large, somewhat jagged shaped rock that's sort of been pushed into a what is it called? Like a hole in the wood, and fastened there with rope. So it's like a very, very blunt stone axe.
Okay.
It looks like it would probably hurt a lot if something this big had hit you with it.
I'm assuming, is it reminiscent of like the giants that we saw in the Underdark?
Maybe a little. It's not that big.
Okay. But I guess, ultimately, I mean, Alara, like she says out loud, I'm like, it's safe to say that I assume this is a troll. She's never actually seen one.
It would fit with what she's heard of trolls. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it would be safe to assume that this is a troll and that we may or may not have found our friends. Yay.
Yay.
All right.
Okay, so we go
Do
right-
the rest of you move up to speak, like to look at this with her? Because I know Revan at least. Revan, do you have a light source that you're using, or are you just walking around with 5-foot vision?
I've been walking around, but I didn't know. Is it dark? Because if it's dark, I would use light rock.
It is. It's dark. Not because
no,
it's.
don't use light rock. That's like the worst
It's
idea.
not-
You are just
It's
super
not
gonna get us killed
nighttime.
with light rock.
It's about 10:30, 11 in the morning. But as you descend down into the canyon, the fog is very, very thick. Light would probably help you see a little bit, but it's not going to give you the distance that it normally would.
Okay, so if somebody tells me not to use light rock, I wouldn't use it. So.
Okay, so
Don't-
you're just
yeah,
following like the
Nilea
sound
would
of their
definitely
voice then.
recommend Not
That's why
using
I'm
light
just kind of
rock.
like walking around with 5 feet of dark vision.
All right,
So-
I need a reflex save from you, Revan.
Let me make that reflex save for you, sir. That is okay. So plus 11. +27.
Okay, and one from Erwin.
Ooh, ooh, about that one. It's a reflex. Let me see. He doesn't. There it is. It's just the number, right? He doesn't have a level added or anything.
Whatever his bonus is should already incorporate his level as far as being a creature.
Okay, so 13.
Okay. You're right. I assume you're riding on him like normal.
Yup.
Okay. You're riding on him. As you step across some gravelly stones here, you feel them start to give way. You immediately leap off in just the first direction that comes to mind, which is towards the wall here.
Mhm.
And you see the ground give way underneath Erwin.
Oh,
And that's how Erwin died.
Can I save him? Oh man.
A pit 25, maybe 30 feet deep opens up with gravel pouring down in from the sides. Erwin just falls to the bottom.
Oh, it's fine. It's just a pit. It's not a huge pit.
It's not a huge. This is how my
Fine.
gorilla almost died.
He takes
Fine.
7 crushing damage from the fall.
Oh no, he's at 50 HP now.
I then need reflex saves from everybody other than Sandre.
27 again.
Dang.
My saves. There we go.
I'm so reflexive.
Bomb. Never doubted myself.
All right. Piles of rocks come sliding down the side of the canyon wall towards you guys. You all manage to jump out of the way in time. A bunch of these rocks fall into the pit where Erwin already is. I need another save from him to see if he avoids these falling rocks.
No. 6. You rolled a 6.
He takes another 11 crushing damage and is currently buried under rocks.
Okay. Well, right. So at this point, I would have summoned Tremor and had him go retrieve Erwin for me because.
Okay, so just subtract the mana and the stamina or whatnot, and
Yeah.
you can summon him out.
Is there any way I could have been able to tell whether or not that was like a natural box or if they were perhaps mechanically induced, whether by
Given
a creature or
given
like
the spread, given the fact that the hole that Erwin is in does not look natural, and the spread of the rocks that came like sailing down at you, you're like 90% sure that this was not just a rock slide.
Do I know?
Can I look up to see if I see anything up the canyon wall?
Sure.
So do I know which one I'm gonna need? Am I gonna need the big one or the little one?
I don't.
You mean as far as Tremor?
Yeah.
The big one would just do it faster.
Okay. I'll do the big one.
All right.
I know he's
I looked at Jayu. I'm like, Jayu,
What up?
that wasn't. Can you see anything up there? I can't see anything. But that definitely wasn't a natural rock slide. Something has it out for us.
Can I see any?
Perception.
Also, I'm speaking softly. I'm not like yelling this.
Okay.
I'm carrying a big stick with it.
Both of you crane your heads or your necks back to look up.
Ukraine?
Cry me a river, dude. Seriously.
Crane.
Anyhow, you both look up. Nalera, you don't see anything. You see like small pebbles continuing to slide down.
Nope.
Oh, geez. That's the worst perception check you've made in games. Zhao, you actually
He's
spot...
concerned for Erwin.
You're not 100% sure what it is, but you're looking up along the border here. Whoa, you guys can't see the arrow.
So we all fell? Oh no. I didn't fall, did I?
No, rocks came tumbling down from the canyon wall above you. You see a bunch of sort of shadows leap from the canyon wall above you here. Well, can you guys at least see the mouse?
Yeah, we can see the
Yeah.
blue arrow.
Oh, you can see the arrow. Okay, for some reason I can't. Yeah, they leap from up here, further away. You can't quite get like detail on what they look like, but you see a bunch of these figures.
What time is it? Like in game?
It's about 11 in the
AM?
morning. Yeah, like I said, it's difficult to get good detail on stuff here more than 30 or 40 feet away because the fog is fairly thick.
Can I have Tremor go and try to like push something off the edge, I guess? If there's something over there. Like can he like earth glide or something?
You mean go up to the top and push something?
Yeah.
Is he trying to push additional rocks down?
No, like a person.
Okay. So he's done getting Erwin out. You send Tremor up there, there's no one up there for him to see.
Okay. Alright. He already got Erwin, right? Though?
Yeah. Erwin is out of the rocks. Erwin is still down in the pit though.
Oh, he's still in the pit. Okay, so he's not very off.
Tremor is
So I'm
not
gonna go-
Tremor's not strong enough to pull Erwin out of the pit.
as long as he's like on, it's fine. I'll go down and teleport him out with my normal teleport.
Okay. Yeah. So do you guys go back to looking at this corpse, or what's the next?
How high up is the wall? Like the canyon wall? Like would it be possible to climb?
You'd guess it's 140, maybe 150 feet from where you're at now in the bottom.
What about like hand and footholds? How does it look?
It looks
Is it
like
a
it's
smoother surface, or would it be, or does it look like realistically climbable?
It looks realistically climbable, but as I said, the entirety of the walls here are wet from the fog, and they're covered in frost rime. So it looks like it would be
Got it.
difficult to climb because it looks slippery.
And is this path that we are heading down this way, is this at an incline?
No, it's mostly level inside of the canyon path here. You assume this may have been a river at one point.
Okay. And I also come over here to like investigate this what I assume is a troll.
Yep. This one similarly, it's one of its arms, its right arm, is hacked off just below the shoulder and is laying on the ground next to it. The face and neck area on this one is, for lack of a better term, melted, and it's pin cushioned with arrows.
And
I look at Sandre and I say, Sandre, I walk back over. I was like, Sandre, want to come with me and possibly unneck big things?
This sounds delightful.
Let's go. So while they're doing some investigatory research, I keep going this way because I keep seeing these little guys. I say little. That was wrong. That was an inaccurate description. Yeah. I keep seeing these guys peppered along the sides. So we're going to hopefully kill us one and not get killed ourselves. Let's go, Sandre.
Okay.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah, go for it. And Joe, what are you doing real quick? Since do you follow Sandre and Alera, or are you looking at the corpse here?
I'll follow them.
Oh, do they wear pants?
No, they do not wear pants.
Yeah.
You're not.
Hey,
You've looked
They
at
have
them.
weapons.
You've looked at them. You're not entirely sure whether they wear armor or if these, like, what look like fur plates are like part of their bodies. It's difficult to tell without trying to like rip one off.
I'm not going to investigate that. That is just too much for Nalera.
It's too much involvement.
Okay,
There's too much involvement.
Nalera, before you go like off ahead with nobody else there, what are the rest of you doing? Revan, you said.
Sandre's with me.
No, he's not.
I
Well,
have.
he was. He was
Oh.
following me.
I wanted to. Well, first, can I see anything with my my special aura eyes?
No, it's dead.
Okay, and can I also, does my tiara let me see anything? Because I can't see right now.
No, it's dead. You don't see any sort of magical effect from it.
No, I mean, but it says it grants me vision if my eyes are closed, sealed shut, blinded, removed, or rendered inoperable. So
Okay.
I don't think it matters here.
No. Yeah, that mostly is if your vision is in some way hampered, it restores your standard vision.
Okay.
Sandre and Alera, I need a perception check from you guys. Dang.
Ayo.
Sandre, natural 20. Come on, do it. Better than 4.
Not a one. It's not a one.
Alright, you can't see anything from here. Well, okay. Nalera, you spot one thing and you hear another. Ahead of you, about 10 feet, you see sort of a flat area with the same kind of pebbles laid out on them that you saw before where the pit was. It stretches from here over to here and looks like it's maybe this area. It looks like it might be a trap. You're not certain. If you got closer, you might be able to tell. But
Ooh, I have a feat for that.
But the other thing is, you hear what sounds like the tearing of flesh or fur, like that, like sound of like someone just ripping like a chunk of something off, and it's coming from ahead of you in the canyon.
Okay, I do have on cat's paws, which allows me to use my sneaking check to perceive traps.
Okay,
I'm
so
actually gonna do that.
make a sneak check then.
It wasn't a good one though.
Yeah. You think it's a trap. You're not 100% though. Based on
I
prior
just kind of-
experience, you think it's a trap.
I look at Sundre, and I put my hands to my lips, like, shh, you need to whisper, and then I do whisper to him, like, go, and I point. I'm like, go this way. There's something up ahead, like to walk around the area, and I'm like, follow me. And I go this way, and stick to the canyon wall. And I would try to sneak, but I know that Sandre is incapable of sneaking. So
Okay.
I'm just not even gonna try. Like it won't
Sneak
won't
the
help.
opposite way.
Clank,
Okay,
clank,
so you
clank.
guys are not sneaking. So
He is
wait,
sneaking,
stop.
We are not.
So Zhao Yu, you're sneaking and you're like climbing up the canyon wall to do so.
I guess so. I mean, am I able to get up to a part where I can shoot from, or is that just not possible?
No, it's the canyon wall is mostly like this, like slightly, bumpy. It's not a straight incline, but there's no ledge for you to stand on unless you went all the way to the top, which is about 140, 150 feet up. And then you're not sure if it's flat up there or if it comes to a point you can't see from the bottom.
How does it work on my floaty shoes? I have to float above something flat?
Yes, you have to float above something that you could. There's like solid ground or something. At least
Okay.
with water, it's like the water tension of the surface of the water.
Then I'm like right here. Is this where it's not curvy?
Yeah, that is though where Nalera had pointed to that this area looks like a trap, like the one that Erwin walked into.
I'm floating because it's flat ground. So I just float slightly above the ground.
Okay. As Nalera, you said you're not going to bother sneaking because Sandre is there.
And
Yeah,
I-
because
Alright.
Sandre
I'm-
can't sneak.
As
Float.
okay, so you're floating there, trying to be as sneaky as possible.
Oh,
Whoa!
there it is.
You're speaking smoothly. You're not sneaking. That's
Oh,
streetwise.
crap. Son of a bitch.
That's a great streetwise
Yeah.
show,
Wasted
man.
it. Hey, if you guys could chill, that'd be great. Just into the ether.
God damn it.
I guess
you-
I'm still here with the body.
Revan, are you muted on Skype? Because you came through loud all of a sudden.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Fix it.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, no. As you two are sort of going around the canyon wall here, avoiding what Nalera believes to be a trap, you hear a bestial growl come from somewhere in front of you, and a large chunk of rock and ice comes flying out of the mist in your direction. I need a reflex save from you two.
Oh, shit.
What?
Sandra,
What?
reflex save.
Flex save.
Reflex.
The reflexes.
Take it in the-
Dang.
Hey.
It hits
Damn.
the canyon wall next to you guys and shatters. You both manage to move slightly away from the canyon wall, and you don't take any negative effects from it. You see creatures come, not charging necessarily, but sort of double moving up forward out of the mist in your direction.
Ooh, that's more than I thought they would be.
And to know, just so that you know that they're serious, they throw d20s down to let you know they're rolling initiatives.
Oh, man. I'm not there.
Sorry, I accidentally. Is this where I was, Derek? I accidentally clicked on myself and like.
That's where you
dragged me.
were.
It was weird. Okay. They throw d20s down.
Well, yeah, but they're made of like bone and ice.
Well, fuck them. My d20 is made out of steel,
Oh, man.
masterwork steel. Just so we're clear.
Just so we're clear. Jayu and Sandra, you guys can both see these things.
Hey.
Hey, you actually had your guy targeted when you did it. And Sandra. Whoa!
Hey.
Oh,
Wow.
Dang.
Oh.
12.
Got him!
The
All right,
30.
Sandra, you're up
The
first.
30.
These creatures stand about 3 feet in height taller than you. They're of a sort of a bluish, stony sort of color, and are just covered in fur. They have large. They look like clubs, but they've got rocks protruding from them at different spots. You don't know whether you'd classify it as a mace or some kind of axe. I mean, you'd call it junk, but You don't know what they consider it.
Who goes first? Me or okay, never mind.
Sandra goes first. That's who.
No. I meant out of Jayu and myself since we rolled the same.
Sandra.
Whichever of you had the higher initiative bonus would go first. Which would be Xiaoyu, because he has a plus 18.
The highest bonus?
Yeah. Yeah, you have a 15 and he has an 18.
Okay.
Alright, but Sandra, you're up.
How far can I run? Not far enough for you guys. Hey, dude. You want to have a hug?
Alright, I need a reflex save from you, Sandra.
I can do that.
He
Oh,
did it. He
walked
ran
across
across
the
the thing.
Yeah.
So, 20, you run across the thing. As you are running, a 20 is actually high enough to avoid it. As you're running across it, the ground gives way, and you manage to avoid falling in. The entire thing collapses inward, though, and you hear Xiaoyu like jump, or you see Xiaoyu sort of jump back a foot behind you. You still make your charge attempt, though. This thing, however, gets an attack of opportunity on you because its reach is greater than yours.
Oh.
17, unfortunately, is not enough to hit Sandra.
Not enough, so I'm going to charge him and retaliate on attack opportunity.
Yeah, you can't because you weren't in range to hit him when he got the attack of opportunity.
Oh, yeah, true. So only the first one would charge
Yep.
it then.
Just the charge hit. 34, that's still good enough to hit. 29. And this is the hammer, right?
Yep.
Alright. You run up, you just hit him square in the chest. You see these sort of fur plate type things that Nalera's not sure whether they're growths or whether they're like stapled on as armor. They don't crack under your hammer, and the body's clearly extremely well muscled. You still feel bones underneath. They seem like they're not giving way, but you can feel that like you connected all the way down to the rib cage on that attack. You completely knock the wind out of this creature, and it stops howling and just sort of like. Next up is not Nalera, it's Xiaoyu.
Woo.
You saw what he just did, and that the ground is giving way beneath you. All right in front of you.
Right in front of me. Okay, great. I fill this thing full of barbed arrows.
Which one? The one that Sandra hit?
Barbed. Yeah.
A 21 is not good enough to hit, and the 22 is
I'm
not.
speaking.
It's still it's aware that combat is
Still pretty bad.
It's still really bad, actually. A 2 and a 3.
I rolled a 2.
I don't feel bad for you missing.
I'm not proud of my.
Yeah, you hit. The middle one hits. You catch it in the shoulder. It sinks deep into like the fur. It seems to more or less shrug the attack. Like a person would be knocked off their feet after what Sandra had done, and then you. The thing is clearly it would be howling in pain if all the air had not been knocked out of it, but it's not on the ground like you might have expected it to be. And the other 2 shots whizzed over its shoulders. And you did a stationary fire. Okay, so your attack is done. Nalera, you're up.
I cast Vanish.
It's getting old.
Well, I mean, now I can do it when Evsy's. Butts. Give me just a second. There we go. I cast Vanish, and then I am going to run here. And then I'm
You gotta make a
actually
reflex save real quick.
Oh shit. Made it.
Okay. The ground.
Like I made it.
Yeah. You're running across it. The ground underneath you starts to give way, and Xiaoyu, you see this. Nalera basically does a cartwheel. The ground is just giving way. All the pebbles are sliding, and she.
Yeah, how can you see that? I vanished.
And she. Okay. You see in front of her that the ground gives way and sort of collapses inward upon itself. And Alara, you appear at the end of your movement or at the beginning of your next turn.
No, at the beginning of my next turn, but I'm also going to use my Alacricious movement enchantment to use a minor action to move.
Okay. When
and
you,
I am
after your reflex save, you are just very precariously balanced on the edge of this hole here.
that's fine, and then I'm going to actually move like behind this guy.
Okay. He gets a check
And then I
real
appear
quick.
at the beginning of my next turn.
Okay. He actually, because he has some special extrasensory abilities, gets a chance to see you even invisibly. But he rolled a 1, so he does not notice that you're there.
Sneaky.
And it's Revan's turn. Revan, can I get a perception check for you to see what you are aware of here?
Everything.
Everything. I see everything. He's Revan Muad'Dib. You hear...
Controls the Irwin.
Yeah, you hear the collapsing of rocks and stones sliding down into canyons, and the sound of Sandre murdering things on the other side of this large pile of boulders from you. Like, you can hear it echoing up out of that and over the canyon that you are in. You don't know how far around it is from your current position, though.
Alright. Well, first of all, does this guy, can I see any sort of life aura on him? Or has he been dead?
Oh, he's been dead. You'd make a quick anima check.
14.
You would guess he's been dead for at least 2 or 3 days. His body seems to be keeping better than you'd expect it to. You can make a quick scholar check to see if you know why that would be.
Sure. I like scholarly things. Let's see. That would be 4 plus intelligence. 7. 10.
Okay, it is a mystery to you.
Like, man, that's weird.
Oh, mystery.
Do I know which direction they're?
You know that they left going this direction.
Okay. So I'll just 5, 10, I'll double move, 15, 20. I'll keep an eye out, by the way, while I'm out there. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
Okay, so you double moved. Alright, it is the troll's turn. Sandra, you have an attack of opportunity on the one that moves past you.
I'm gonna take that. Oop, oop.
Oh god.
Damn.
That's a confirmed
Damn.
crit. Let's roll the bone break dice.
How many 20s have you rolled today?
Never enough.
2. Let's see. Bone raking. Boom.
Ooh.
You got a 20?
The
So-
rib cage.
Does not tick down.
Wait, you got a 19. Okay. You don't have
Yeah.
20 included on there.
I do it on the
Oh,
top.
skull. Okay, 19, yeah. Bleed 3. As this thing
No,
goes
that's
by,
right there.
you catch it right below the center of its chest and crack the sternum in so hard that you force a piece of its rib cage into its internal organs and it starts to bleed internally.
Oh man.
Ow.
You're
just hitting it real hard in the chest today.
Yeah, and the internal bleeding, yeah, like it says, it does not stop. It's gonna die on the inside. All right. I also, however, need reflex saves from Sandre and Zhao Yu.
Me?
Yeah.
Me?
Oh,
Well done.
Faha!
oh,
Terrible.
Ooh.
Not
Super
not
terrible.
Proud of my work. Not proud of my work.
Sandre, rocks come sliding down from the canyon wall above you. You manage to sidestep them without getting covered by them. Zhao Yu, despite the fact that you're floating, these rocks come tumbling down with with a natural 1. They catch you and they bury you underneath them. You are now, as of right now, you are pinned beneath these rocks.
Yeah.
do I notice this?
With your perception checks, I would probably say no.
Okay.
Then the trolls actually get their attacks. All of these are going for Sandre.
1 second, my video's gonna go out. Cause they be.
That troll is cheating. That troll rolled a 1d23. Okay, so I'm gonna re-roll that second guy's attacks. Oh, I wish I hadn't. Jeez. Okay, so 2 of these hits are gonna connect. Oh no, and the headbutt from the first one. Alright, the first troll misses you twice with its club, and then just headbutts you as hard as it can. It has a very thick skull. It's 18 damage. It ignores 1 point of armor, but I think you've got more than 19 armor.
Yeah, I have 24.
Okay, yeah. So you're going to take 1 damage each from these guys. Their attacks ignore 1 point of armor on them, but for you, because you're more than 1 point over that, you're taking minimum damage. So you take 3, and I'm rolling to see. Okay, the last guy does not drop his club. And Sandra, it's your turn. Jay, I'm trying to remember. Did you ever take that feat that increased your initiative each round?
No, I just took improved initiative.
Okay. Okay, then Sandra, yeah, you're up first.
Attack. And wait, who are we attacking? We're attacking a white swing this way. Oop.
Video up. Hot second.
Revan, I sent you the template that I use.
Thank you.
Aww.
Yeah, because that'll show. You just need to change the name.
Yep.
39. Who are you? Sorry, are you starting with the bleeding one or the middle one?
The bottom to top.
Okay. The bottom one, you just managed to catch the top of his skull. Uh-oh, we lost Jayu. All right. You swing
He warned us.
from
He's
left
right there.
from
he just
left
in that video.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind.
from left to right. You hit the top of his skull. The hammer bounces off and catches across the jaw of the troll next to him. The first one, you hear what sounds like the neck snapping, and the creature falls backwards.
Can you see me now?
There we go.
Don't see you on the call.
I can't see you guys, but I can. Oh well, of course I can.
You guys are on. We hear you on Discord, but you're not actually. There you go.
There we go. Sorry
And
about
mute
that.
yourself on Skype real quick.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, so the first troll goes down, the second one takes a hearty strike. And do you move at all, Sandre? You could try and back up into the rocky area behind you, but it is difficult terrain now, so you'd have to do more than a 5-foot move to do so.
I'm actually just. No, I'm just gonna stand there.
All right. Xiao Yu, it's your turn. You can make a strength check to try and force your way out, or you can make a combat maneuver check to try and beat essentially the grapple that the rocks have on you for the pin. The DCs are different. If you have a strength, if you have a decent strength score, that's the easier one to go for.
I have a score.
Or if you've got you can make a lively check if there's anything invested in that to try and wiggle your way out.
Also, don't have a great lively check. Let me think. Combat maneuver includes dexterity or no?
Dex or strength, whichever was higher.
Okay. Do that one. Harder, but at least I have. So it's a 1d20 plus my dex plus what else?
Your base attack, half your level.
Okay. Plus 9. Not bad.
Not good enough to break out though.
Damn it!
You push hard on the rocks and try and slide to one side, but they just fall in around where you've sort of made yourself a hole, and you're still pinned down beneath the pile.
Fuck. Okay.
You can make a second attempt on your turn in place of your movement.
Oh, yeah. Move anyway, so have a go.
Nope, also not good. Nalera, you're up. You appear right there, and all the trolls have moved past you to Sandre, which is, I mean,
Was I
pretty standard fare.
able to see what pushed those rocks? Like, would I have been able to see if I looked up? Can I do a perception check?
You can make a perception check to see if you had noticed it. No.
I didn't. Okay.
It's difficult.
I
Remember,
thought-
the top of the canyon here is probably almost 200 feet from where you're standing. It's very difficult to see that far in the fog with any sort of clarity.
Okay. That's fine. Okay, so I come up behind this guy. And I am gonna hack and slash.
Okay. If you want to make a sneak attack with this, I do need a sneak roll from you.
It would be a flanking check, right? I mean, it would be a flanking attack. It wouldn't necessarily be a sneak.
Correct, but I'm saying if you don't make a sneak, he gets an attack of opportunity on you is what I'm telling you.
Oh, okay. Then yes, absolutely. I'm sorry, I did not know that. Now I do.
Because his reach is greater than yours.
I don't think I did it though. I definitely did.
Oh man.
He perceived the shit out of me.
As you stalk up behind him, he just swings at you wildly behind, still keeping most of his attention on Sandre because of all the hurt he hurts. And just slings his club around trying to knock your skull. With a 19 though, he's not gonna hit.
God damn.
It's too bad he didn't try and headbutt you.
Yeah, fact. Okay. But I am gonna do one of these. Oh.
Jesus Christ, Nora.
That's
I mean,
a lot.
it is what it is.
It's just
He's
it's a
basically
lot
a
of
blender.
information. 21, that is a miss. The 18 is a miss, even with your flanking bonuses. The 26 and the 32 are both a hit. And you do get flank damage, 31. You bury the blade into this guy, and after stabbing him with the sword and with your dagger, he falls forward. He just limps forward and falls almost onto Sandre.
I do one of these. I'm like, ooh, sorry.
But not
How
really.
much stamina does that cost?
8.
For the whole thing?
Daggers cost 1 each. And I think the sword is 2 each.
I believe so.
I don't know.
That's 6.
It's
The thing is 8. The way that the math works out, it's 8.
Oh,
stamina.
okay.
it's you pay additional stamina for iterative attacks with the offhand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this I believe the formula for it is in the dual wielding section right before goods and services.
Can I just walk up
Gooder
now and
services.
on combat?
Gooder services. Yeah, you want to make another double move?
Yeah. 2. Wait, 5.
You hear more rock slide. You can feel Xiao Yu's consternation.
30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
You
I'll just make.
you round the corner enough that you see Xiao Yu buried under a pile of rocks.
Oh, I see him?
Oh wait, you don't see very far.
His
No.
hand would be like sticking out of the rocks, just like twitching.
No, the funny thing here, he literally doesn't see him because you can't see that far.
I can see like the corner of his name tag, and that's about it. Can I make a perception check to see what I do see that?
Yes, though without a light source, your vision is quite limited in the fog.
Yeah. 26.
26. You see a large pile of rocks in front of you.
Oh, dangerous. Stuff like that.
Oh, and Nalera, I forgot to tell you because I didn't see that thing added onto the end of your combat thing. With the acid damage, the wounds that you do to that thing sizzle and pop, leading to these grotesque, almost like it looks like blisters where you hit this thing, where you stabbed it.
You're welcome.
This is so great.
You're welcome.
This last one clutches at its chest where it's bleeding internally, and then attempts to strike out at Sandre with all it's got left. Oh,
Oh, there's
jeez.
2? Oh.
It's not much. Doesn't have much left.
Okay, it didn't drop its weapon, and it didn't knock itself to the ground with its natural one on the headbutt, but it does manage to hit Sandre with its middle attack for 1 damage. These poor things.
Oh no!
They're the apex predators where they, well, I mean dragons are stronger, but they're basically the apex predator when you subtract dragons from the equation. But they're not Sandre. That didn't sound good.
And they definitely don't have acid damage.
Y'all aren't Ebonite.
Yeah, they need ebonite clubs and ebonite full plate. Sandre, it's your turn. This guy is dead, but he doesn't know it yet.
You
I'm
already
gonna
dead.
see if I can't actually slap him so hard with a hammer he actually falls back into the hole.
You're gonna push
Do
him.
it. What's enough to knock him unconscious? You hit him from the right side to left and knock him backwards into the pit.
Yes.
I mean, not all the way, but he just needs to be at least halfway into the pit for the gravity to pull him down. You look around. Combat appears to be over. You see Xiao. You don't see Xiao Yu anywhere.
Okay. Oh,
Where's Shayu?
There's
I
just
don't
2
know.
piles of rocks.
I don't know, man.
Screaming. Screaming.
Oh, you're screaming.
He's screaming. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Oh,
I
I'm
just like
gonna
run over
rush.
and like start pulling rocks off.
is his arm sticking out or not?
Oh no.
Okay. Is Tremor
I
still
just start
here?
pulling rocks off of him.
Strength checks from anyone that's trying to help.
Is
Can I do lively?
No, you're not
That's
escaping the
me, sir.
rocks.
Boop.
is Tremor
I will
still here
stand.
from his last summon?
No, because he doesn't last long enough for that.
Okay. I'll summon him real quick. Baby Tremor.
Baby tremor. All right. And one more strength check.
I don't help at all.
Oh, you
In
don't
fact,
help.
I hurt myself trying to help.
She attempts to lift a stone and she like pulls a hammy somehow.
Oh god.
Oh wait, I
Problem.
do get a. That's a plus. I do have a +1.
You still pull a hammy and you're like, I'm gonna be over here. Jeez. Lift with the legs. That's what they told me. No, between Sandra, I need one more strength check from you. Oh, jeez. The first time Sandra just lifts up like a rock and pulls it to one side. The second time he just sort of one-hands it and like throws it back over his shoulder. Between Sandra and Baby Tremor, it takes about 20-30 seconds to completely unbury Xiao Yu. Luckily for Xiao Yu, he doesn't really have organs to be damaged by like rocks landing on him. So his armor looks a little bit worse for wear, but otherwise he's actually not that hurt.
Sandra can just throw you in the forge. You'll be fine.
I'm sure that's how it
Question.
works.
Was the hope.
Looking at this trap, would I be able to? I mean, I'm assuming like that these beasts do not possess the intelligence to be capable of creating this type of trap. Would I be able to like use what I know of traps to ascertain what or at least like have an idea of what could have done this?
You can make you can, but you're gonna need to make a perception check to get the best image possible of the trap before you could make that check. Okay, and then you can make a
Can I use my sneak check for the traps? Like, could I use cats on paws for that?
To understand the trap, you'd have to use thieving.
Thieving.
Sneaking will allow you to see it, but thieving is what you need to understand like how it works. I'm just the worst. It's clearly something that you think is beyond these creatures. What you've picked up is that there's actually some wooden stilts in the pit that are more or less buried by pebbles and the little pieces of gravel now. But it looks like these were set up to hold somewhat larger flat stones that the gravel was set on top of, and just a small amount of weight placed on any of those flat rocks on top caused all of them to just fall in upon themselves. It's not a complicated system like mechanically, but it would be difficult, in theory it's not difficult, but it would be difficult to balance it properly, and you don't think that these trolls have the requisite knowledge or patience to do that.
Would it be able for me to tell how long the trap has been here? Or, like, approximate?
If you could find one that hadn't fallen in on itself, and you could see, like, how much, like, rime and frost had accumulated on the rocks, but with it already being set off, it's really difficult for you to tell. Because it's just stone. Like, it's not...
Right. Okay, well, without telling anybody, I do actually start to wander off and, like, stare at the ground, actually looking to see if I can see one of these traps.
You find dead elk.
I do see dead elk.
It looks like someone has
but
taken
ultimately-
It looks like these trolls were just grabbing chunks of, like, the skin and muscle and just ripping them off to eat. And you find some discarded chunks that have large bite marks taken out of them.
Okay, well, she dry heaves a little. She's like, huh, but she's fine. And I do stick close to the wall to try to make sure I just don't get killed,
Okay.
fall in a hole. But I am like actually looking at the ground to see if I can perceive any traps.
Okay. Make a sneak check, because you can use that to find traps, right?
Mhm.
Oh, that's just barely
I mean,
enough.
that's not bad. Nice. Okay, so I take a look at this bad boy and see if I can tell how long ago it's been set.
Okay. It doesn't quite have the buildup that the area around it does. Given, nothing piles up here as far as actual snow. But with what you know functionally of traps and just having examples looking around and seeing what the rest of this canyon looks like, it can't be more than a couple days ago that this thing was set up. Maybe not for the first time, but that it was reset.
I throw my dagger at it hard.
Make a strength check, because the dagger's not that weighty.
Okay.
In frustration.
Well, I mean, I don't really have. I don't want to throw myself at it.
right?
And
No, that's enough. You throw the dagger. It's not the force that you did it with, but you just managed to catch between where sort of two of the rocks meet, and you see they move about an inch and a half against one another before the first one begins to tilt and slide. It doesn't happen as quickly as it does when someone stands on it because the weight isn't enough. But as soon as one of them starts to tilt, you see about 5 other rocks, maybe 3 to 4 feet in circumference, all begin to fall in different directions, and within a couple seconds of that, the pit is just open to see.
Derek, can you take a look at Discord?
Just a little bit. And the elk falls in.
Poor elk.
There goes all that meat.
I just kind of like I walk back over, and I look at Jayu and make sure he's like alive, well, ish, and capable first.
Never.
Like I ascertain, yeah. And I just look at both him and Revan and say, you know, there's no way that these guys set up this trap, set these traps. I'm more than surprised that they didn't fall in themselves, but I'm not sure what they're for. But they're not that old. It appears the one at the back has been reset within the past couple days. I don't think that it would be our friends, because it would take somebody who knows the terrain well enough to be able to set these traps. And based on what we know of them, they're newcomers, not just to this island, but to this world. Ayo.
So wait, you're saying, are you talking about the pointy ears or the trolley trolls?
I'm suggesting that it's not the pointy ears, only because like you would have to know like this area well enough to be able to do it. I'm not sure what would be setting up the traps, but I am relatively certain that it's not the trolls. The trap, although it's not complicated, it takes too much precision, I think, for them to be able to. Yeah, thanks. Too much precision to be able to set it up, and they clearly have very little precision.
Yeah. It would take a lot of either just straight strength manual labor or like mining equipment to dig out the holes there in the first place.
So I'm not sure what's setting up these traps, but I don't think it's the knifey ear guys, and I don't think it's the trolls.
Speaking of the trolls, now that we have some time, can I figure out, like, sit down with this one of the dead ones and see like what's making them take longer to decay and stuff?
Yeah. You can find you. So you go to one of the two that are recently dead and aren't in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
And aren't in the pit.
that aren't in the pit. All right.
Just teleport down to the pit. Okay.
The one that's over here that Nalera stabbed with her sword, there's already signs of decomposition, like it's falling apart on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
The other one that Sandre put down with his hammer looks like the bruises that you would expect to see from being hit with a large blunt object. They're forming on the creature, but they really feel like they shouldn't, given how quickly it died. Like they should, it's dead. The blood is not going to be flowing very soon inside of this thing. It looks like the body actually might be mending itself.
Ooh.
Is this a path or is this like a wall?
That's a path.
Okay, I'm gonna be on the lookout for
I'm a bee.
traps.
Hey guys, that's not good. That's kind of gross.
Yeah, you sort of stare at it and like if you put your hand to the chest, you can feel a very, very faint heartbeat inside of this thing.
Hey guys, it's still alive. I'll be right back.
What? It's alive?
Did I hear that? I was pretty far away. I don't know if I would have heard him.
I mean, he said it
mean,
with a
I'm
lot
all
of
the way over
nervousness in
here.
his voice. There's a chance you might hear it. He seemed a little upset.
I go back. I go back.
All right.
And I stab it with my sword. Right in the chest.
Didn't you just do that to the other one?
With the
Yeah.
one that he said that it's still alive, I just stab it with my acidy
Oh,
dagger,
okay.
man. With my acidy sword.
Okay.
Just really into stabbing stuff.
When you run your blade in and out of it, the wound sort of like crackles and pops, and you can see the skin is just slightly melty around the entrance wound, and immediately a smell of decay sort of empties out of the chest cavity where you just stabbed.
Oh, this is just awful. Like, she takes a step back and she's like, this is...
The blade, yeah. Surprisingly, your blade looks really clean, like someone had acid washed it.
Well,
You don't say.
yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, so what did we say about the body?
It's dead
I
now.
stabbed it with acid.
Okay, you just stopped it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you put your hand to it now, like not in the chest where there's small like remnants of acid, there's no pulse from it at this point, even very, very faint.
Oh, cool. All right, let's take care of that.
Well, that mystery's closed, Hardy boys.
I look down in the hole at this one, because I didn't touch this one, and I throw my dagger at it, in the chest. Do I need to do a check for it?
Yes, because you could miss.
But sorry, I clicked the wrong thing.
Oh, we lost.
I'm here. I'm sorry.
Did you? Oh, you closed it.
Well, no, I had my command key down, so like when I clicked the thing, it was like, I hate you guys. Rage quit all day. There. Acidy dagger.
It's
The place where the dagger hits it,
In the chest. I was throwing it at the chest.
in the chesty area.
If I could get there.
You can't quite tell because you're about 20 feet away from it, maybe slightly further. But I mean, it didn't look like it was moving before. The wound looks like it's still open where you hit it with the dagger, and then a few seconds later, the dagger vanishes.
before she before we killed the other ones, was I able to see like a life force coming off, and then when she put the acid on it, did it like disappear?
I mean, I killed the other one before you got here, but the one that was just there, you were
No,
staring at.
the one I
Yeah.
told you that was still alive. Like before she stabbed it with the acid dagger, was I able to tell?
What was the question?
So like, was I able to see the life energy off the one that was still alive before she threw the acid dagger?
Yes,
on it?
it still had some positive energy to it.
Okay, and then after she threw it, it disappeared. Or
Yep.
turned. Okay, making sure. All right, and is it the same with the other one? Is
Dead
that
now.
So is the other one like doesn't have it anymore, right?
Correct. It is. It's quite dead now.
All right, just making sure I don't have to like hop down the hole and like check his heartbeat.
Super dead. All right,
They're dead.
keep your eyes open for traps, guys. I just keep kind of moving forward. Also, wait, Jayu, are you okay, man?
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool.
Feel a little bit dented,
I
but
cough. Try to cough up blood. but-
Dust comes out, just
Yeah.
rock dust.
oh man, I wanted to use one of my gems, but I gave all of them to the dragon.
Oh.
Mistakes were made.
No, I still
do
have
I
like
see-
two.
Do I see any of the notes? That's not enough.
You can move basically at half speed and just regularly be checking for traps if that's what you want to do. And you know what you're looking
is
for,
exactly
so
what I'm
you'll get a slight bonus to those checks. I just need give me 2 sneak checks that you're using to spot for traps.
There's two. They're both bad.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
feel like I should have just used a perception check.
Yeah, well, I mean, you win some, you lose some.
I mean, and I'm sticking close to the edge of the wall, so.
Yeah, I mean, so far, only one of these has been right up against the edge of the wall.
Also, is this like part of the wall? It looks like it could be like something put there purposefully to block up the pathway.
That is a bunch of boulders that have fallen into what looks like used to be a pathway. They only stack up about 50 feet high from the ground, so they're not, even half as high as the actual canyon walls around them, but they very clearly are blocking off what used to be a pathway.
I look at Jayu and I'm like, you want to float up there and see what you can see?
Sure. Can't actually do that though.
Aw.
Yeah, not how floaty works. But I'd love to help.
I can teleport somebody up there if they want.
No, thank you.
How about you could teleport
thanks.
yourself?
I don't trust being near these rocks, and I stay in the middle.
Sandra, you want to teleport?
Revan, why don't you just
No.
teleport yourself?
Okay, I can. It's no big deal.
You
I'll
are the
teleport.
most perceptive of all of us. If anybody's gonna see anything, it's you.
All right, let's go. I will teleport.
We'll put Sandre up there because he's the one that's gonna make that clutch perception check.
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go up there. By myself, I guess. Who? Can I do the normal teleport, or is it like the big one?
The rock wall here is about 50 feet high, so if your regular teleport doesn't go that high, then you would have to use the actual spell.
Yeah, I have to travel. All right.
And we just want to see what's like on the other side of the rocks. Like we're not trying to like really like figure out, hey, should we like I just want to make sure that that's not a direction that we should potentially be going.
Well, question: how high can I go up with Earth Scorn? Like 20 feet, right?
Yeah, I believe it's up to 20 feet off the ground.
Okay, so if I Earth Scorn, then I can get up there.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll do that.
All right. Wait, you said you are... Earthscorn won't take you that high, so you're going to teleport, right?
You said it's 50 feet. You said
It's 50 feet.
all right, and I think I can do. No, I think I need one more before I can do 30. I can only do 20.
Yeah.
So I can only make a 40 feet. So I'll just travel up there.
Okay. You get up there. Make a quick perception check.
Boop. Okay, I'll take it.
Better than Sandre.
I mean, he can't really do worse than Sandre. 15. Okay. The top of the rock wall here is actually not flat, but it's fairly even, which leads you to believe that it's not natural. Like at some point, rocks were piled in here to close off this path. You can't see far, but you do see the canyon. It just goes down on the other side, and it looks like it continues on this way and that way, with the canyon wall itself extending over here and along that side. And then over here, it just sort of comes to a point that breaks up the canyon from this side over to here.
Okay. I will relay this information. Guys, man-made tunnel.
Man, well,
Secret
yeah.
tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
Secret tunnel. And down this way, it looks like there's also a path. Or is this like a dead end where we're in right now?
I don't know. You'd have to go down there.
Okay, I do. I go down here to see if it's a continued path as well. Is it?
Down that way. It gets narrower, but it looks like a path.
I go back to Jayu, and I relay our options. Hello, how are you?
Away from as many falling rocks as I can possibly be.
Sounds good. This way leads to a secret tunnel. This
How do you-
way leads to a narrow path.
How do you know it's
Which-
a secret tunnel?
I don't.
Not
just
secret for
man-made.
long if
It's
you keep
it's
telling
not.
everybody.
It could just be a
It's on.
tunnel.
It's just man-made.
Anyway,
Made.
Not necessarily secret.
I mean, call me crazy, but I don't think many.
You're crazy.
Think you.
Oh,
I don't think
rough.
many men have traveled up here.
Just women?
And by men, I mean human men, because this is Celestian
I did.
territory.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. Wholeheartedly.
Yes, I thought so. Do we want to go that way, or do we want to keep following the path? I feel like we're more likely to find a dragon in a tunnel.
Which one is
but that's
more
just my
closed
business.
off? The tunnel, probably, right?
This is more closed off.
Okay, that's the way I wouldn't want to go, so let's go that way.
Oh, I love that logic. Let's
That's
go.
so great logic.
I feel like this is the direction that it seems like it's trying to tell
Shouldn't
me
go.
not to go this way, so that's where all the
Yeah.
treasures are.
Yep,
What time is it?
It's about
7:48.
7:40.
In game. In game.
it's Florida time.
It's about noon.
It's a nooner.
Nooner.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to climb this. I mean, I guess could I use a lively check to try to climb?
Nope. You can use an athletics check to try to climb.
I'd say you can use
An
a
athletics check.
I do not have the mana to teleport that many people right now.
Hey.
I mean, I have my rope. I don't know if that would help me though.
Oh, I do have a rope.
You
too. I
can,
throw
if
down
you
a
can
rope.
secure the rope to something, then you could use it. But
Oh, bro, throw down your rope.
Yeah, can I throw down my? I only have. Let me tie together.
You
like
have-
30
gonna
You have
push
10-foot
Lara to the
segments.
side.
Yeah, I have like 15
Oh, I got
10-foot
pushed.
segments of rope.
Hold up, I got pushed.
I'm
Okay.
gonna push Lara.
I
to
done
the
been
side.
Sandra's about
pushed.
to do some shit. Sandra's about to do some shit.
Hey.
21.
I'm gonna
Alright.
climb up. Or that, I don't know.
What an asshole.
21. That's let's see. So your climbing speed is about half what you normally do. You're gonna have to make 3 more checks to make it to the top.
He only climbs like 10 feet, I think.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Geez, you're right. He needs 3 more checks to the top.
No, wait, yeah.
I climb up this side while he's climbing up the middle.
Yeah, I'll
Or
tie together. a whole
I attempt. And yeah, I use the rope that he ties up and secures.
Okay,
What's
Ribbon.
the athletics check? Is it strength? What is
Oh.
it? D20 plus what?
Sandre. Oh, jeez.
Oh.
So, Sandre, twice you climb up about 15 feet and then fall down. And then you climb up about 15 feet and then fall down. You take 3 crushing damage each time you fall.
Damn.
Oh man.
What is the athletics check? Is it
I'm not giving you the
D20.
DC. Oh,
no? Is it strength or
athletics is
What is it?
strength, yeah.
athletics is strength? Okay.
And Revan, you said you are letting down a rope. What are you attaching it to?
Is there? Can I see to see if there's anything to attach it to?
I mean, there's a bunch of rocks up there. You could probably wedge the rope, like, if you...
I use my
Is there
bare
any-
hands.
Is there anything secure?
Actually, Nolera does have bare hands, right? She's got the gloves that add to climb.
No, I do have the. No, they don't add to. Wait,
Yeah, they do.
Oh, but I don't.
No,
think
they
I-
don't. I took them off.
No.
Remember?
Oh, that's right. You took the enchantment off.
Yep. How's that?
That's not good enough.
Okay, I don't make that.
You attempt to climb, and you're like,
I
this
just
is slippery. It's dangerously slippery. And you make it about 5 feet
I
up
just
before
wait
you
till-
slide down. There you go, Sandre.
till
He's
night-
doing it again.
Just wait till nighttime.
Oh, nope.
Love it.
Sandre makes it up about 12 feet, falls, makes it about 12 feet, and falls.
Jesus.
By this point, I mean, Jay, you could have simply walked around.
Ooh, I
Oh. Nolera's working up a sweat. She makes it about 3 feet up, and she's like, "Hoo boy, it's time for a break.
Guys.
It's time for a
Hold on,
Snickers
hold on.
bar."
Wait, are we
what you
ready?
Climbing?
This tunnel wall.
I'm just over here like, guys, are you sure I can just teleport you up here? It's no big...
I'm gonna try one more
Oh,
time.
we have to
and
get
then-
up to get in?
Yep. Hold on.
It's not a tunnel. It's a space between
I
two.
stop. I stop. Teleport me, Revan. Just teleport me.
Xiao Yu, just so you know,
teleport me.
it's a space between two canyon-like rises, and there are rocks in the middle forming a wall. It's not necessarily a tunnel. That's just what people are calling it.
Oh. What are these checks for? To squeeze in?
No, they're attempting to climb
the
up.
wall that was put down.
The rock wall is only about 50 feet as opposed to the 140, 150 feet canyon wall, so they're trying to climb over this rock wall.
But I'm done trying. Please just teleport me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like walk down, like Earth's corn down, I guess. Like just hop down, and safely, and just teleport Nalera up there. Full mana cast. I have no more mana after this though.
Guys are ridiculous.
Actually, would I be able to like
I'm just doing this right now to see if I ever roll something decent.
Nope.
No.
No.
Look at all those ones. Oh
One.
my.
Twice.
This is disgusting.
Jeez, that's okay.
This is disgusting.
At this point, it would be like reprehensible on my part to not tell you. You guys do have the option of walking around, just for the sake of myself and for the sake of anyone that watches this stream now or at a future time.
Okay.
No, I just wanted to see what I was rolling, but no, Revan is teleporting me.
Yeah.
Also, question. Would it be possible for me to like? So can Tremor like do like an earth glide where he just like slides up walls and stuff?
Yeah. Tremor has a burrow speed that allows him to move through solid rock.
Would Tremor just be able to like dig a tunnel through?
No, he can move through it.
Okay.
In the same way that like
Ooh,
you would.
Sandre made it, I think.
Dang, actually, yeah. 4 checks. Sandre makes it finally up to the top of the wall, looks down the other side, and sees that he has to make 4 more checks to get down.
Okay, can he
I'll
lift
catch him.
us up? Can Trevor like just have his arms out and like lift up, like just like an elevator?
He can make strength checks to try and lift people.
I want to try that.
I need to make 3 more.
Well, okay, so you're 50 feet above the ground. If you want to get down safely, you're going to have to make 4 checks, because otherwise a 50-foot fall is some serious crushing damage.
Alright,
I'll just
1.
As Sanjay is just carefully climbing down the other side.
3.
Oh,
he's going
jeez.
down. He's the last.
4.
Okay.
Oh,
can I just
You s-
like jump?
with the 18s, about halfway down the wall, you start to slide and just barely manage to get a hold rather than like bouncing off the wall while you're still about 25 feet up. When you
I'll teleport
slide,
Nalera up there.
he comes sliding down like and just flat on his stomach at the bottom.
So he could teleport me up there, and then you're saying like to get down, I have to do it. Can I just like jump, like use a lively to jump?
Yeah, but it is a 50-foot
Try not
drop.
to die.
But here's the problem for me.
Oh, Malera, you have a billowing cape, right?
I do.
You could try that. What about
Yeah, I
Erwin?
do.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's my problem. I can teleport Nalera up, but then I won't be able to get Erwin.
I also have boots of feline grace, man. I always land on my feet.
Can I get
but that's
a
only if I fall within 10 feet.
a quick perception from you guys, since you're so caught up in all this jumping and
26.
climbing?
I don't notice shit. I'm trying to get down.
From everybody?
Yes. Everyone but Nalera, since Nalera's not on this side of the rock.
Yeah, so I do have a
This way?
billowing.
No. Where's my
Perception. Okay.
Oh.
Ooh, jeez. Sandre,
I use my cloak to jump down.
neither of you see. Revan, did you bring Nalera up?
Yeah, I teleported her up, and I'm still on the top trying to figure out how to get Erwin.
Okay. As you teleport her to the top, you and Sandre both hear a guttural growling sound. Then I need a reflex save from Sandre and Zhao Yu.
And then I used my unbillowing cloak, and I was able to use my lively check to jump down.
Ooh.
So how does that? I rolled a
It's
20.
1, a 2. How many ones have I rolled this game?
Okay.
You're rolling a lot of 20s.
Zhao Yu and Sandre, you are both knocked flat onto the ground.
I'm done with this area. Fuck rocks.
I have no more. I can't
Both
do
of you are knocked flat to the ground by nigh exploding chunks of stone wrapped in ice. And you both take 4 crushing damage and 1 frost damage. And then I need an initiative.
Oh man.
Oh,
Ooh.
I have. Wait a minute. I have resist over magic. Does that reduce any of the
Reduces
cold
any
damage?
incoming physical damage that isn't magic.
Your mantle blocks 5 cold damage too, remember?
Is he wearing it though? I thought he handed it off to someone else.
I did, but I have immunity to frost from the.
Oh, then you take no
black
frost
metal.
damage from that.
Okay.
Oh.
I wasn't sure if it was like for endurance reasons or actual cold damage.
Who'd I give it to? Was it Sandre? Did I give you the cold thing?
He
Sandre?
gave it to Sandre after you gave it to
Okay.
him.
All right.
Okay, cool. Well, I still take. Fuck it. Oh, Jesus. I just did that twice. Okay. Initiative. Hey, there you go. There's a good roll.
That's a good roll. Also, Derek, in addition to my billowing cloak, I have boots of feline grace, where it always lands on their feet when falling 10 feet or more, and their falling damage is reduced by 50%.
Hey, I gave you those.
You did. Thank you.
Back when he still had blood.
Yeah. Back when I
Yay.
used to jump off of things.
Back when he used to jump off of things and worry about damage.
It's my turn. I'm on the ground. I stay on the ground. Crawl behind him.
I'm sorry, I'm just checking my macro.
Oh, can I actually be here in this square? Or would I have to be here?
You can't get that far up. You could be in this one.
Okay. I am staying prone.
Okay, so you like slide to one side, or you're staying prone where you were.
I'm half move speed crawling
Behind Sandre.
to behind Sandre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nalera, you're up.
Yep.
The thing came from this general direction.
From the map terms, yeah, the east.
I take a 5-foot step to get away from Revan, just in case Erwin falls on top of him. And I crouch behind like this rock formation, and just maintain like a defensive stance.
I'm not even sure you can waddle up here.
All right.
Oh, before my turn is over, I make sure I have 2 daggers drawn.
Got it.
I bet you're really good at drawing daggers.
I'm great at drawing
they're part of a
everything.
map.
I am an artiste.
Yeah.
She got that anatomy down.
Okay. These two trolls come just within range of sight and hurl additional rocks at Sandra and Xiaoyu. I need reflex saves from you guys, and you take a -4 for still being prone.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
You want to reflex?
Yes, please. Oof.
I'm in the kitchen. Can someone roll it? My dex bonus is 4. So my total bonus is 9. Or, yeah. If it's half level.
I think saves are full level, aren't they? Or are they half
Okay,
level?
so I'm here anyway. 1 second.
Were you getting water? Is that what was going on?
I mean, it is in the
I
kitchen.
am prone. So that makes it harder.
Let's get the water.
What? Did I get hit? Am I dead?
Are you dead? Are you dead again? Actually, with an 18, it's -4. Yeah, both you and Sandra get hit again. It's 5 crushing damage and 1 frost. But for you, that's no frost, and I think you said you have 2 ignore.
And Sandre has a
Oh, it
cold
does.
resist 5.
The the damage over magic resist crushing damage?
Crushing damage is physical, but it's because it's not from a magical source. Damage over magic does resist crushing. Crushing just ignores armor.
Okay, so then I only lost 4 total. Cool.
And Sandre has a cold mantle of resist 5, I think.
Oh, Sandra, are you the one wearing it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not taking any frost damage from this. You're just taking the crush.
Yeah.
That delicious orange crush. Sandra, you're up. Or it's your turn.
Yeah.
Is there anything to hide behind?
Nilera, maybe.
What?
The canyon wall protrudes, like it's right along here, so Nilera's in there's sort of a nook right here where they wouldn't be able to hit you directly with a stone. If you went behind you, you'd have to go back as far as like back here to be out of sight.
Okay. Gonna. I have. Wait. Can I move 40 and drink a health potion?
I believe drinking a potion is a minor action, so you should be able to double move and still do that.
Then
It is a minor action.
Boom, confirmation.
Where's my potions? There's my potion. I'm gonna drink a medium potion, which is 18 health.
Dang, 10 health potions though. And where do you move to?
If this would work here.
Actually, remember, you have to stand up, so you're only going to be able to make one move action.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 then.
Okay.
And I drink a health potion.
Alright, Revan, you're up. You can see all the stuff that's going on.
I can't do anything. I can pull out my bow and like take a shot with this non-weapon I'm holding. That's about it, because everyone's not even there. He's on the other side of the wall. Good luck, guys.
Thanks.
Gee whiz.
I guess I'll try to make the shot. I don't know. 9. Whoop. There we go. He's holding it upside down and everything. This poor child. But yeah, that's all I can really do. Oh, well, can Erwin make strength checks to try to get off the wall?
Yeah, Erwin can make climb checks.
Hey, I'll have him try to do that. This is not a good idea, but I'll try it anyway.
Nope.
Strength.
Oh.
He didn't roll.
Oh,
That
the
was
five. The 5 was your terrible longbow attempt.
Yeah.
I imagine the arrow didn't quite make it as far as Nilera.
No, it's just like, well, you know, that was an attempt. 20 plus.
Jesus Christ,
12,
man. These are
14.
I just threw that just to see what would happen, and I don't really know what I expected.
So plus 5, 18. All right. Did you take another one?
Yep, he can make 2 attempts in 1 turn. Oh, he makes it about 15 feet up, clambering up the wall before falling backwards off the wall and landing on his back.
Oh, Erwin. Gee. All right, that's it.
He doesn't howl, but only because crocodiles don't. They've evolved beyond weakness.
He's like, well, this is a predicament I've landed myself in. But yeah, I guess that's it.
Quite the pickle.
All right.
A pickle Rick!
A pickle Rick!
No.
Pickle Rick.
Pickles are green, like me. I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess so, Erwin. I'm upset that currently Erwin has more mana than I do 10. But yeah, I'm done. So Jayu, I guess.
Yeah. Zhao Yu Shuang? You're still prone. But you can fire from prone, it's just a penalty to your shot.
I do it. I can't actually see. Oh, wait. Is this one right here?
Uh.
Yes. I shoot that. Boom, baby.
Hey.
Hates Courier, 37, 35. Those are both good enough. Which one are you shooting for?
Okay.
You plant both of them in the high chest area, because you're firing over Sandre.
Those are my barbed arrows.
Oh, nice. Those actually, They... okay, yeah, you pretty much have to go look at the body to see what they're doing, but they have their effect whether you're aware of it or not. And Larry, you're up.
How high up is like are these little outcroppings?
That's just the slant up to the ridge.
Okay, so like I wouldn't be able to like run up like and jump from like each little.
You know what? You can attempt to do anything, but when you fail, you will still take the crushing damage for falling.
Right. Okay.
I won't
No,
stop you from
instead-
attempting anything. You could try and breathe fire, like, from blood wine.
That would be fun. No, I do, however, cast Vanish. I don't.
Like, we've never
That's a
seen that
lie.
before.
I don't. No, I don't. Hold on. I do run.
Get it? Because you're vanishing?
Yeah, I do get it. I see what happened there.
Or you
Okay,
don't.
So I do actually get up and run across to here. Can I go through Sandre or no?
Yeah, you can move through a friendly
Okay,
square.
a friendly. I thought so. Okay, so I do. I'm gonna go here. And then I am actually gonna chuck my dagger in this guy's direction with the intention of like I'm aiming for his throat. I may or may not hit his throat, but that's where I wanted my dagger to go.
Fair enough. That seems like a good place to hit somebody. And 30 feet puts him within your ranged attack range, right? With no penalty?
I think my ranged attack is actually 15, so there is a penalty.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then you're going to take a -2 penalty for range.
Which is fine.
$28. Yeah, that's still good enough to hit him. You take one of your daggers, and all your daggers are the same, right?
Yeah, all the daggers are the adamantine.
Okay, so the dwarven presence. You flick it across the gap between you two and bury it. It doesn't hit him in the neck. He's very tall, but it catches him in the left side of his chest. And you can see the acid mark that it leaves there that just begins to fester as soon as the dagger disappears.
And then I draw another one.
Okay. This thing now does a mad charge at Nolera.
Oh.
You mad, bro?
Oh.
He just went right through me. Like I wasn't even there.
It charges, and as it charges, the ground starts to give way underneath it. It rolls a masterful reflex save and ends up leaping past Nolera.
Oh.
Ooh, she is like.
She gets an attack of opportunity
Nice.
against it because it's leaping over her head. She's a size smaller, so it's not difficult for that to do that.
Okay, do I get an attack of opportunity?
That's what I'm saying. You get an attack of
Oh.
opportunity.
Sweet. Heck yes, I do. Allow.
Okay. Main hand, first attack. 21 actually misses.
Wow.
Garbage.
Aw.
Oh.
That's not nice.
Yeah, you're garbage. Whoa. And
It was just the one attack.
yeah, it's an attack of opportunity. It's just one hit. This
Okay, I
this
wasn't
isn't your
sure.
turn.
Okay.
It turns
I've
and
never actually had an attack of opportunity because I never let people get close to me.
well, that's
for
an
that to
emotional
happen.
thing. Yeah.
I know.
What's your
right?
dodge? Is
So
it
this is, I think actually in the entire year and change that we've been playing this game, this is the first attack of opportunity that I've ever had.
what's your dodge? Is it above 24?
What's that?
Absolutely.
Okay. So it slams down with the club and hits the ground. You just dodge slightly to the side, being careful not to fall backwards into the pit. Because it's up close, you can see the festering wound in its chest, and a foul odor is spilling out of it, like a very acrid smell.
Just a
This guy attempts a strength.
Okay, I'm good. I seriously just rolled a fortitude save to see like if that would make me puke. She has a
Sandre,
weak stomach.
you have an attack of opportunity on this guy. He runs, jumps, and leaps over the pit to make a charge attack against you, but he is provoking an attack because of how close he's landing.
You gonna get him, Sandra? You gonna get him?
Well, yeah. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah. Hey.
Dang.
The whole thing is just slow.
He jumps the gap, and you hit him so hard. You catch him
Immediate regret.
as he lands right in the sternum and just knock him about a foot down and backwards into the pit.
Sandra goes golfing.
Sandre nails him. Boom.
Would it be baseball?
It's more like baseball.
I think it's baseball.
All right, that's their turn. Sandre, you're up. One of them is down.
Oh no, one of them is down. What will we ever do with the other one?
Run out of trolls real quick.
I'm guessing I'm close enough to attack him. No. And everything just froze.
I love how my screen turned orange. and
Everything
my
froze.
I think it's froze for him.
Chrome died.
Oh no.
That's the just responded.
That's how the troll saved himself.
Nope.
Wait, no, he didn't, because you already rolled your attack before you froze. Whoa.
Oh.
Is it just me, or did Dodge's room just get like very dark? I haven't been paying
I was
attention.
gonna say. So it became dark, and my computer turns orange when it gets late at night to protect my eyes. So now my computer, everything just looks sepia right now, like I'm in a western.
Yeah.
Especially with this hat.
I just need
You do
some
look
twang
very
sound
John
effects.
Wayne-esque.
I found out why everything crashed.
Was it your fabulous internet?
No, my mouse ran out of power and my computer.
Oh my
couldn't
gosh.
handle it.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah, I rolled.
Okay, yeah, a 41 is enough. The thing is swinging, like attempting to hit Nalera. You catch it in its open hand, and just snap. You hit the hand, its right hand, so hard that it snaps in the socket and just hangs loosely, and the entire arm goes limp down by the side of its body. But it's not dead. You can tell, though, at least 2 of the fingers are just broken, and like the bone is protruding from them out of this thing's fist.
It's rough.
It's not a life I want, man.
It's not my destiny.
I'm so glad Sandra is my friend.
Everyone that is Sandra's friend is glad for it.
I'm glad I can teleport away from Sandra.
There you go. That too. Revan, what are you doing?
I'm gonna watch Erwin struggle. Nope. Okay. And then I'm just gonna I can't make any more ranged attacks because they're all like in a hole right now. So I'll just, woo, good luck, guys. Yeah. Yep. Ooh, and I'll take my stamina back.
And I'll regain. I'll put down a trap card face down and end my turn.
Yep.
Uh,
Erwin got like one.
he's up. Yeah, he's up about 15 feet,
Okay.
climbing that incline. Xiaoyu, you're up, and I believe you're still prone.
No. Oh, yes.
You can stand up as a move action and then make your shot. You would actually be better off for doing that.
I do.
Okay. 29. Yeah, and that is enough. You put 2 arrows into this thing's back. It falls forward. I need a reflex save real quick from the Lara.
Twenty.
20. Okay. You manage to sidestep it. It falls forward and slowly inches into the pit.
Okay. I throw a dagger, like in the head of this one, and also, I mean, if combat's over.
Yep, combat is over.
Okay. Yeah, I throw a dagger in this one's head and also in this one's head.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the rope to actually help Erwin get up because I forgot I had that.
Alright, we'll say eventually inevitably Erwin will make it up that side. Do you guys stick around here to look for stuff, or do you push forward?
Do I see anything? Like shoot, like
You don't see much of anything. You remember, you only see about 10 feet.
yeah. Guys, I can't see anything with my special eyes. I'm sorry, I can't help you.
I mean, that's fine.
I wish I had like a detect magic or something.
Can you look at these guys and see if they are even remotely alive real quickly? They shouldn't.
Once you plant your dagger into them, they both give off that foul, acrid smell.
Yeah, they're dead.
I walk over here and just kind of like like I manage not to vomit, but I just kind of, I'm like, these guys are disgusting. Whoever thought these things were a good idea?
She's trying to hardcore not vom today.
Ugh. These guys are just awful. I'm checking out for traps up here though.
Okay. Other than that, you don't see any traps immediately around. You just find another dead animal that it looks like they were probably eating.
I do see that.
Do you guys push on forward then?
Is there a path past this hole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we are going to. It's just past 8 now. You guys are pushing through the canyon here. As you come out on the other side, within about a minute of coming out of this, it ramps up and back into a forested area at the base of the 2 mountains. Now, one of them, you have your bearings for the island, so you get turned around a little bit in the cave. But given that the sun is out, you can still tell which one is sort of the northern peak and the southern peak. I assume you are heading for the southern one, since that seems to be where the map indicated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So we are going to stop there with you guys heading towards the southern peak. And like I said, you're entering like a semi-forested area, except snow is actively falling here. The temperature feels probably another 5 or 6 degrees colder than it did before you entered the canyon.
Hey.
All right, and then that is where we're going to call it for this time.
Good game.
Thanks, everybody.
GG, guys.
Yep. And next week is one of our skip weeks where we're just working on the system, and then we'll come back and pick this up the weekend after that, so that'll be on the 27th.
Yes.
All right.
Peace out.
Well, thanks for being here.